guys are late. Jesus doesn't love me. Jesus loved me once.
What you think about when you're born into a fire? Let them burn it out. Sell them to the richest buyer. They wanna let the world decay. They tell us lies and fade away, fade away. We feel betrayed. We were raised, wake at the back of the pack, kill it anyway. Listen up now, because we're never dropping out. Beat the odds, beat the big house. The brains are big.
You can hear me yet, but you'll be able to hear me in a second.
Ourselves never let the truth fade away.
Open everything back up. Shit.
World burn away, we feel betrayed.
Can you hear me yet? Okay, I tripped a breaker. It'll be just a second. I can't hear anything, and that is because... Okay, my audio's back. Can you guys hear me? Does the mic sound all right? Any echoes?
But I can tell you this about if this
Okay, let me undo that then.
show, you don't have the fork and balls to call out the people on this planet by name and tell them exactly who they are and tell them the rest of the world who they are. You don't have the fork and balls. You don't have the balls.
Okay, Scott.
Here we go, I think I started some shit.
Don't make up words. Tunnel? Is there an echo? That's the question.
Just said, you better buckle up, cause you ain't seen none yet. Here we go, I think I started some shit. Piss them off, it's about to get lit. Get the place in them beds, you know that stage is set. You better buckle up.
It'll be just a second.
None yet. And they say that I'm a lunatic. Well, listen, bitch, I came equipped with a quick wit and a 6 cents for the stupid shit. Where my true believers? Y'all need Jesus.
All right, that should be right. Okay, these are right. Those are open.
Fucking profits who profit off of gossip.
All right, hold on.
Drums cocking, begging for a throat deposit. Swinging fucking meat hammers like four and a thong. King Kong starving for attention. I'm gonna make you.
Oh my God.
I'll be your uncle.
What the hell? Hold on.
First, baby.
Let me fix the camera.
In a dress, fucking Flynn on his desk. A retard in a vest, climbing up 5G towers. Cause you told him if he did, he'd get fucking superpowers. Here we go, I think I started some shit. Piss him off, it's about to get lit. Get the place in the bets, you know that stage is set. You better buckle up, cause you ain't seen none yet. Here we go, I think I started some shit. Piss him off, it's about to get lit. Get the place in the bets, you know that stage is set. You better buckle up, cause you ain't seen none yet. I used to find clues too when I was high on shrooms. I found myself a tunnel that led to Jason Q's bedroom. Open his closet, I found some of his meat rockets. I strapped them to my shoes and then I flew through the roof. I found myself in orbit strapped to an F-16. High on amphetamine.
All right, we should be good, hopefully.
Like, hold a baby.
Let's see.
Saluted the troops. He tapped me on the shoulder.
Okay, that's right.
Wait. Stop. What? I'll get my files.
Look at that. I'm getting good at it. It's like a speed run.
Fucking stop.
One extra song. One half of extra song, and we're out of it. Fix that back. Start Facebook. I got to automate some of these things. Jesus Christ. When I'm running the heater, I know better than to run the heater on high and stream. But it was cold when I came in, so you'll have that on these big jobs. Come on, Facebook load. There it is. Change accounts. And that's it. Here we go.
Hey daddies, it's me, the Linda Binda from TikTok. I wanted to make this video because I wanted to thank you for watching Cold Beer Confessionals with Will Bird. I think that's just incredible. I've watched a few episodes and I'm just like very intrigued. But you know what I'm most intrigued in is Big Daddy's meat stick. I heard that it's very thick, like a good old German sausage. You know, Linda and her coochie loves that. Oh, never mind. Let's not go there. Anyways, I hope you have a good show and enjoy it as you can. There's a lot of weird things that go on, especially when it comes from the realm of Linda Bindaland. So, enjoy the show. Thanks for watching. Peace out.
Oh, welcome everybody. Sorry for the late start. At least I started early, right? We got a late start. We had, I've actually got it set up good. So I used to have an issue where if I tripped a breaker, it killed the stream because I lost internet and I lost my PC. Now I have my PC, router, internet, and one monitor so I can still work all on one breaker. And I got the heater, the other monitors, and other shit that I don't use all the time on another breaker. And so at least we don't lose the whole stream and have to restart it. So there you go. Yeah, I tripped a breaker because one of the heaters was on high. I have two little space heaters. One of the heaters is on high and it trips a breaker. So reset it. We're good to go. Mic should be good. Audio should be good. Everything should be functioning. If you want to support the show so I can afford heat, real heat, do it at one of the links. And just quick tools links. Or you can use whatever's built in, I guess. Thank you guys for joining us. Thank you for being here. I'm Will Bird. This is Cold Beer Confessional. I was just watching a Mr. Global video. I wasn't actually watching it. It just popped up. So let's start there. I haven't seen it yet.
This is nuts. This is Danielle Jurensky. This is nuts. This is nuts. This is Danielle Jurensky, and she owns JJ's Place, a sports bar in Aurora, Colorado. And according to her, during the Super Bowl, 80% of her patrons wanted to watch The Turning Point, and 20% wanted to watch the actual Super Bowl halftime show. So according to her, she put the TVs on half and half. Half showing one, half showing the other. And
right.
According to her...
That'd be the best way to do it. Same thing, like, I love Hooters wings. Every time I go to Hooters, there's always somebody bitching about whatever. They always have sports on. Somebody bitching, just turn around. Every TV is on a different fucking sporting event.
The people, those crazy liberals that wanted to watch the Super Bowl show, started.
Well, it's about the Republicans are calling Bad Bunny's Super Bowl performance homosexual pornography. No stop. Not like literally. There was less ass in this Super Bowl halftime show than any that I've seen in my lifetime. The women wore shorts that would like pass my high school dress code, where you have to put your arms down at your side and your fingertips can't go by your shorts. What do they one congressman called it homosexual pornography.
Canceling orders, taking to social media, calling her a racist, being disrespectful to her staff, and flooding her one-star reviews on Google and Yelp. So she's claiming that all these crazy liberals took to Google and Yelp to bash her business for running the Turning Point USA halftime show. And just so you know, she's also a MAGA Republican that ran for Aurora's city council.
That's what they're really mad about. There were two guys dancing at one point in front of that pickup truck.
But apparently it didn't occur to her that people.
Your bar didn't get a single review yesterday on Google. You got one single review via Yelp, which didn't mention the halftime show, but you decided to wake up today and post about your one review about the poor service. So, of course, they're trying to jump on and be like, I did half and half, and the left attacked me.
Would go look at these supposed reviews. That never.
I thought it was funny. The title was funny because, like, these are the things they use, like, against, like, Elvis, right? The right is regressing.
Happened. She didn't get a single review that day on Google and had one review on Yelp, which did not mention the halftime
Kid Rock shorts were shorter than any shorts at the halftime show.
shows at all. So this was an obvious ploy or plot to trash a group of people and also try to get some good reviews at her business, which doesn't have great reviews. Now, initially, she had a ton of 5-star reviews come in. But now that people have figured out what she was doing, she's getting much more 1-star reviews.
Uh-oh.
Ms. Gyrating, I don't know if you are aware of this, but a single 1-star review has a lot more weight than a...
I don't hear anything. Is it just me? Oh, shit. Nothing. Like, you don't hear anything on... Hold on.
5-star reviews come in.
It's just you.
But now that people... Single 5-star review, as in like 5 times more weight. Like, you're going to need at least 5 of those 5-star reviews for every single one of those 1-star reviews you're getting. Good luck with that. And have the day you deserve. Thanks. This is nuts. This is
amazing.
Nuts. This is Danielle Gyrating.
I run a business at Sports Bar, JJ's Place, just at 80% of the bar. I did see a guy actually stand up to a bar that they were at. The bar advertised that they were having a Super Bowl party, right, at this bar grill place. And without asking anybody, without saying anything, without doing anything, when halftime come on, the bar manager just put every TV in the whole place on Turning Point USA. And at first the guy asked for one TV, and they're like, no, we can't do it. The waitress told him, no, you can't do it. So he went to whoever the manager was like, why are you doing this? And they're like, oh, this is the halftime show. And he's like, no, it's not. Like, I came here for this experience, like the Super Bowl party. I want to see the whole Super Bowl, including the halftime show. Nope, this is a halftime show. That's what it's called. This is the halftime show we're watching. Like, it was so fucking cringy. I saw it on Twitter, I think.
And she owns JJ's Place, a sports bar in Aurora, Colorado.
I want to see her post
according
again.
To her, during the Super Bowl, 80% of her patrons wanted to watch the Turning Point, and 20% wanted to watch the actual Super Bowl halftime show. So according to her, she put the TV.
I put the TVs on half and half. The 20% started canceling the orders, taking to social media, calling me a racist, being disrespectful to my staff, and leaving negative reviews on Google and Yelp.
TVs on half and half. Half showing one, half showing the other. And according to her,
YouTube's working fine for everybody else, right? Because I can hear it on my end when
she put the TV.
Yeah, I can hear it on my end.
People, those crazy liberals that wanted to watch the Super Bowl show, started canceling orders, taking to social media, calling her...
I'm a nerd, okay? Human F being. I'm a nerd. So not only do I match my audio with the video audio or try my best to, it's not always perfect, but I use a compressor to try to get them pretty accurate. But when I talk, there's an extra compressor that, like, if I'm playing this video and I talk at the same time, which I don't try to do all the time, it compresses that audio down to 1/2 of my voice. So, like, you'll notice really bad in the intro when the music's playing and I start talking, the music will cut to 1/2 of whatever my level is. Just because, I don't know. I think that shit's cool.
Racist, being disrespectful to her staff, and flooding her 1-star reviews on Google and Yelp. So she's claiming that all these crazy liberals
And it was all a lie.
took to Google.
So all of that was a lie. So there you go. I didn't know about any of this before. Like, I taught myself, and the problem was I would try to say like something that I thought was funny during a clip, and the shit would like nobody could hear me. They're like, we can't hear what you're saying, because we were at the same level. But I think I've finally got it figured out now. Then I saw this video, actually looked interesting. Hold on. This says the real life supervillain, No Mark, vigilante, superhero, supervillain.
Right behind me is the lair of a real-life supervillain. This is the Flint Hills Refinery here in Rosemount, Minnesota, owned by one of the most evil families in the world, the Koch family. If you don't know who the Koch family
Koch
is,
brothers.
they are the 6th richest family in the world. The Koch family originally made their fortune by supplying Hitler and Stalin during World War II with gasoline and oil. After getting
How wild is that? How wild is that? They started their fortune supplying Hitler.
And Stalin during
It was before the U.S. entered the war, but still.
World War II with gasoline and oil. After getting all that money, the two sons David and Charles Koch took over the business and started building more refineries across the U.S. By the 1990s, the Koch family had become so rich and powerful that they were able to do whatever they wanted, like burn 2 teens alive, falsify government records about how much cancerous toxins they were releasing into the air, and consistently go against government and regulations, causing the death of so many innocent people.
They buy politicians and judges and they trade people. It's fucking insane. That's one argument for why no one should have that much money, right?
And so much more. This family has done irreversible damage to not just individual people, but humanity as a whole. And they're continuously able to get away with these horrible things by paying them off and sweeping it under.
Koch Industries and its affiliates have paid hundreds of millions in fines and settlements for environmental violations, oil spills, and unlawful political contributions. Key documented penalties include a $30 million EPA fine in 2000, $25 million false claims settlement in 2001, over $20 million for air pollution, and millions in campaign finance penalties. Koch Industries later appealed and settled the case, along with a related claim from other teenagers' families for an undisclosed sum.
The rug. This country has proven time and time again that if you're rich enough, you're able to get away with whatever you want without any repercussions.
Yes.
Everyone hopes that
IBM had the
right behind
what would you call that? IBM had like the fucking Jew Rolodex.
and it never will be. I'm sick
like
of
the
waiting,
punch
hoping
cards.
that you want without any repercussions. Everyone hopes.
So I'm trying to get back to where I was.
But humanity as a whole, and they're continuously able to get away with these horrible things by paying them off and sweeping it under the rug. This country has proven time and time again that if you're rich enough, you're able to get away with whatever you want without any repercussions. Everyone hopes that justice will be brought to people like Charles Koch, but it never has and it never will be. I'm sick of waiting and hoping that one day karma will come and give this man what he deserves. Well, Charles, the day is here. I am your karma. You may have been able to lie, cheat, and cover up all the horrible things you've done in the past, but
yeah, they were like literal punch card machines. So so if I remember the story right, there's a guy that does TikToks where he's like, hey, IBM, what do you make? And it's always like it's not what they actually make. It's like the crazy story about what they made. Like he might do Volkswagen and talk about how Volkswagen made military equipment or whatever. But IBM had a subsidiary that was kind of like a shell company. This subsidiary was not capable of supplying all the Germans' needs. So IBM was really doing it themselves with their American company and flowing it through this German subsidiary to make it look like the German company was doing it. But it was literal punch card machines that they used for the census and to identify the Jew population and keep those records. And that's how they tracked down a lot of the Jewish population. They'd show up and be like, hey, there was 50 Jews that lived in this tiny little village or whatever. We've only seen one of them. That's how they tracked them down and kept track of them and found Jews that were hiding and shit. Not to mention, it was a system that the same system is what they managed the prisons with. Like checking in who's an inmate, who's not an inmate, where they from, where they belong to, how'd they get here, how long they've been here kind of deal.
Not anymore. I know the things you've done, and I know what you're still doing. I'm gonna expose absolutely everything, and then I'm gonna take you down. It's time we start bringing evil people to justice, no matter how rich they are. And if our justice system isn't going to do that, then I'll do it myself.
Damn. No, Mark, I'm following that channel then.
Right behind me is the lair of a real-life supervillain. This is.
I wonder if he's done any other videos. Dude, I've been hooked on these videos. Like, I like to work with my hands. I'm like a gearhead. Well, I'm just kind of a nerd. Like, if I'm working on my stream, I like to do weird fucking things that no one will ever notice on my stream, like animate my camera sliding in or the compression on the audio. But I like working on cars and mechanical things and building things. So I've been hooked lately on these videos of people like have like fucking Lambos and Ferraris and Bugattis and shit like that are damaged. Or I think the last one I watched was a Ferrari. The transmission was fucked up in it. Like the transmission locked up when he was going out the interstate. Luckily, he didn't hit anything, but it locked the rear wheels and like fucking slid him around like 360 and was just stuck there. The wheels would not turn. It was stuck in second gear no matter what happened. So he contacts Ferrari and is like, hey, you know, and they're like, no, we're the only place in the world that can do that. We can't sell you the parts. And he's like, got like a gearhead channel, right? Can't sell you the parts, can't sell you the tools, can't tell you how to do it, can't do this, can't do that. So he's like taking this transmission apart, and he found a donor transmission from an Italian sports car shop out in Arizona, and he's rebuilding it with none of the tools, none of the information, none of the data, shit, none of it. And there's another channel of this guy in the UK, and his buddy wrecked a Bugatti. And if you don't know, Bugattis are fucking two pieces. Like the whole car is two, the engine, transmission, everything in the rear, and then the cab, the fuel tanks, and everything in the front, like bolt together with 13 titanium bolts. And they're taking that car apart to fucking rebuild. It's almost like a transmission, like, or an engine like flex plate. It's like a plate that goes between the transmission and the front part of the car and ties in the motor mounts and keeps everything solid. That broke in a wreck. And they're like, no. The owner actually went to TikTok when they found their first video saying they were going to fix it. Or one of the CEOs of Bugatti, or one of the C-suite members of Bugatti, went to TikTok and said there's only two places in the world that can take these cars apart and put them back together in their halves. So now they're like, fuck you. There's going to be 3 places now.
In my last video, I talked about the real-life...
Those videos are fucking cool to me.
And how him and his family have been able to get away with evil things like burning 2 teens alive and killing many other innocent people by using their insane amount of wealth to cover it up. And as bad as all of that is, unfortunately, it's only the tip of the iceberg. Today, I'm going to be talking about how the Koch family is actively destroying the world and how they're pushing their ideology by targeting the youth in America and downplaying their effects on the environment. Every single year, the Koch family donates to universities around the country, spending hundreds of millions through their vast network of organizations, which seems like a good thing on the surface until you realize that they have ulterior motives. The Koch family will attach strings to these donations. Things like gaining control over the curriculum and obtaining personal information about the students. They use this control over the curriculum to promote research that pushes their
Sounds about right, Weld.
Things that oppose the environmental regulations and go against the research that is being done by environmental groups. They've done this to universities like the U of M, Duluth, Harvard, Duke, University of California, Berkeley, Los Angeles, San Diego, and pretty much every major university in the US. They don't only promote ideas that go against climate change and downplay the things that they are doing to this world. They also promote ideas like how the elite should be in charge of politics and regular people shouldn't be trusted. Essentially, this family is bribing universities to gain control over what the new generation is learning about climate change, promoting the idea that what they're doing.
How involved do you think the Koch brothers were with Turning Point?
Is not that bad, so they can continue to stay rich off destroying the world and won't have anyone go against them. I'm not going to have that happen, Charles. I see what you're doing, and I'm not going to stop until I take you down. This is still just the tip of the iceberg, and there's so much more to expose about the Koch family. I should probably clarify, just in case, that I am happy and healthy and have no intention of disappearing. Thank you to everyone who has supported me. This is going to be a tough battle, but remember, there's millions of us and only a few of them.
And then there's one more video he's made. It's cool videos to put together. I don't know what this is. This is some like vigilante shit here. We supposed to be watching this? When he's talking about they killed the teens, so it's in 1999, a jury found Coke Industries guilty of negligence and malice in the deaths of 2 Texas teenagers in an explosion that resulted from a leaky underground butane pipeline. In 2001, the company paid an undisclosed settlement. And in the final months of the Clinton presidency, the Justice Department leveled a 97-count indictment against the company for covering up the discharge of 91 tons of benzene, a carcinogen, from its refinery in Corpus Christi, Texas. The company was liable for $350 million in fines, and 4 Coke employees faced up to 35 years in prison. The Coke Petroleum Group eventually pled guilty to 1 criminal charge of covering up environmental violations, including the falsification of documents, and paid, this is just a fall guy, and paid a $20 million fine. David Ullman, a career prosecutor who at the time headed the environmental crimes section of the Justice Department, described the suit as one of the most significant cases ever brought under the Clean Air Act. He added, environmental crimes are almost always motivated by economics and arrogance. And in the Coke case, there was a healthy dose of both. So not only did the kids die, but from these kids dying in this leaky pipe, they found all these other violations that led to this huge Clean Air Act case. So that was a weird video. I don't know if I like that one as much, but I heard that there was activity on the Bitcoin. Everybody's watching that Bitcoin wallet that's interested in the case. I heard there was activity in the Bitcoin wallet from Tucson, Arizona. Is that what you heard or no? Hold on a second. As we reported, the kidnappers promised the return of Nancy to Tucson within 12 hours of receiving $6 million ransom, which means they're currently somewhere within a 700-mile radius. There were 2 ransom deadlines, both of which have passed, even though today host Savannah Guthrie tried to reach out to the kidnapper and offered to pay up. Our sources say the images the FBI released Tuesday of the apparent kidnapper were just obtained by authorities. The FBI wasn't holding onto the image before releasing them. The feds got them and immediately released them out publicly. Nancy was taken against her will on February 1st. That explains why they didn't want to, but she just wandered off, right? They had pictures of these kidnappers apparently the entire time. Being offered conviction. What did I just read that? We've seen activity for the first time in the Bitcoin account listed in the first ransom note, which was sent to us here at TMZ, and also to 2 TV stations in Tucson for various reasons. We are not going to reveal the amount, but the activity happened in the last 25 minutes. That was at 4:30 Pacific time today. Have you guys seen the security footage or the pictures or whatever? I guess we can look it up. Hold on. I don't think they've had any proof of life. I think that's what Savannah Guthrie was asking for. Like, I'll pay, just, show me my mom. Make sure it's really you kind of deal. They're fully masked and shit, but Nancy Guthrie.
Local police are working with the FBI, but 1 week into the disappearance of Nancy Guthrie, she and her siblings issued a public plea on social media Saturday, which appears to reference the new ransom note.
We received your message, and we understand. We beg you now to return our mother to us so that we can celebrate with her. This is the only way we will have peace.
I don't like how they held hands. I know this isn't a big deal. I don't like it. They're traumatized or whatever. It makes me feel like the ick. It's weird.
This is very valuable to us, and we will pay.
Police are offering a reward of $50,000 for information leading to the, quote, recovery of Nancy Guthrie and or the arrest of those responsible for her disappearance. The case
I was hoping they would show the
shocked
images
people
here.
in and around the upscale Arizona neighborhood where Guthrie lives.
It shouldn't have.
Oh, there's the images. I'll grab them in a second.
Horrible what is going on, and the developments that keep coming around are shocking.
Just knowing that someone like that could just disappear or be upped and kidnapped, it just really brought some concern because it's unusual activity. And you know, Catalina Foothills is just extremely calm, quiet. Everyone's extremely friendly. So it really hurts my heart. Like, it makes me so nervous for other elderly people.
There are MAGA people that are on her ass about this is what you get. Now you're asking President Trump to help find your mom, and look at all the horrible things. I've seen it in the Phil Godlewski Facebook group. Look at all the horrible things you've said about Trump and your media agency said about, all that stupid shit.
They're very unhappy and they're kind of in shock with it, and they're hoping against hope, but every day that goes by is not a good sign.
But just this feeling.
I don't know. Honestly, every day that goes by is not a good sign if she was just missing. But the fact that they think that these masked people, they can see these masked people come in and take her, maybe it's not that bad.
Where is she? What has happened?
Police say blood was found on Guthrie's front porch after her disappearance. DNA testing has confirmed it belongs to the 84-year-old. They also say Guthrie's doorbell camera and pacemaker were disabled the night she disappeared.
I don't know how someone disables a pacemaker. Maybe run it through a big magnet or something. Several of my friends thinks it's family, not me, but desperation. Well, see, apparently she has like a son-in-law issue, right? The son-in-law is like been pointed at by several people, and they don't, and that was the last people to see him, and they don't see eye to eye, and maybe he has a lot of debt. There it is. He got some backpack, face mask, gloves, big heavy-duty gloves. I don't know what the fuck this is. Some decorations. I understand that they're offering this $50,000 reward, and that's cool. But if they're honestly willing to pay the ransom, they ought to offer a lot more at Shrubs. They ought to offer a lot more of the ransom. I hate going to Cash Patel. I always feel like he's looking at me and somebody else. He's looking behind my shoulder or some shit. Oh, there's the other ones that I was looking for. The full size. So there's that one. I don't think we're going to get much information from this. Maybe like a brand of backpack. Maybe even a brand of jacket or shoe. Gloves look very nondescript. Mask, very nondescript. Some shrubs, someone said. He's got a fucking grill, clearly. Whole top diamond and the bottom rose gold. Is that that doesn't even look like a holster. You know what that looks like is like a protective case. Like you slide, you know what I'm saying? Like it's like felt lined. It doesn't even look like a holster. That's why I didn't say holster at first. That looks weird as shit. See it right there? Doesn't look like it's made to be a holster. It looks like hold on. See if I can find a picture of what I'm talking about. Like if you're going to store it in a safe and you want it soft on all sides kind of deal. I don't know. What a weird fucking... I'm finding plenty of them, but I wanted to find one that just slid in that wasn't like zippered. Almost all of them they sell now are zippered all the way around. But I remember my dad and my papa having ones that just slid in from one side and just kind of sat there. But I don't see those. At least not for sale now. Kind of like this. This one does have a zipper on it, but something like this, right? Like you just, it's not really a holster. It's more like a soft case, like a A fucking sock you slide it in. They used to make them for rifles too. These long, like it almost was knitted like a sock, and it slid all the way in it. You know what I'm saying? I know they still make them for rifles. Something like this, but harder sided. Maybe like so this is a pistol sock. That's how I found it, by searching the word sock. Like this is a rifle sock. A rifle and pistol, it looks like. They just kind of slide in. It doesn't look like what you would consider a whole, at least not to me. I mean, I've been wrong before. Definitely a weird style of holster. What I like the I carried one not too long ago. What was it called? I do like these. This does not look the same as that, especially being in that. What is that? Like a light brown color? I do like these sticky holsters. They're pretty good, honestly. Like if you not got a belt on or you got something, they have like this weird texture on the outside of them that as long as you have like some pressure, even like jogging pants and shit, I can carry my pistol in it with this, and still draw. But most of the time I carry a Kydex in the waistband holster, but the sticky holsters are cool. But even this weird color on this one is throwing me off. Like a brown felt, like a tan. I don't know. And we can see it in two different pictures. We see it. I didn't even think it was a holster in this first picture. I just thought something was hanging a fucking cord or something with just that black fucking piping on it. I guess we can see it here too. It's hard to tell. Then we obviously see it here. Hard to tell there. That is a strange fucking... That is a unique holster, bro. Crazy. And the barrel length is wrong. Almost like this is a revolver sock. Like the action, because the chamber and barrel should sit down longer, because this pistol, there's no way it's that long and narrow. That's weird looking. You're right. Whoever said that. We also have this. I guess this is the image they pulled the stills from. Yeah, okay, so it does not look like a holster to me. The way he walks with it, it looks like a pistol sock that someone's tied a string around to keep it right where it's at. It looks like they've tied something to their belt loops to keep it there. It's not even... It looks like the pistol's supposed to set further down in there as well to, like, cover the whole pistol. That is so weird. Look how he walks with it. That's not a... I just don't think that's a holster. Puts his head down pretty quick. That is strange there. Does he turn off his light when he does that, or does it just not pick it up? Or is that not a light? Is that no, that's a light. I was going to say, is that a reflection from the IR? But the way it's bouncing off his chest, it looks like he's some type of light. But we didn't see a light in the pictures, did we? Or did we? I don't see a light there. Huh. That is such a weird... The way it hooks up. It looks like someone took what you would store a pistol in, tied string around it, and lashed it to their belt. That is very strange. I watch gun and gear reviews all the time, and I can't recall a holster looking like this. like a holster that's made to carry your weapon while you're moving around or some shit. I've seen plenty of things that look like that. Like, oh, I'm going to put it in my safe for a while. On the backpack straps are reflecting to his forehead like that, you think? They can definitely identify that backpack for sure. The way he fucking turned around, the way the straps are made, the reflective straps, and the way he just turned around in front of the camera, they've got to know that backpack now. The fuck's he looking for something on the ground? A rock? No, that's the brush, I guess. Does he put that in front of the camera? Is that what he does with it? Yeah, no, he's got a flashlight or something in his mouth. That's what I thought was a grill earlier. That is so weird the way it reflects. It looks like he has a light that just fucking turned on out of nowhere. Let's slow it down. Out of nowhere, it turns on while he's dropping his head. It bounces off his chest and everywhere, and it's clearly lit up brighter here. And then it goes off while his head's in the exact same spot. It seems like if that was a reflection, wouldn't it still be reflecting? Why does it stop? Weird ass holster. A weird walk, too, unless that holster's rubbing his dick. I'm MAGA, and I'm sorry this woman is missing, but what about all the kids that we are missing? Why does this woman go to the top of the list for all law enforcement? I don't trust a single thing you say or post, Cash. You're a liar and a pedophile protector. Glad you got that off your chest. Huh. Interesting, I guess. Ooh. Grok, show us what it would look like. So someone said, Grok, show us what this person would look like without a mask. I think they just lightened the photo, but that's interesting. We can't trust any of this, by the way. Interesting, though. They also made him black. I didn't think by watching the video that he looked overly black. Maybe that's maybe that's because I'm so not racist. I'm not convinced it's a male. I think it's maybe that's a bias. I was going to say, I think it's the walk for me that makes me think it's a male. Am I crazy? Potentially. I was probably already biased to when I thought about a kidnapped woman or a kidnapper in general, probably. But also, I feel like this walk confirms it. He takes a weird step right here at the end, but the rest of the walk looks male-ish. Someone said he has a mustache. Oh, there it was. And you're not going to let me have it, are you, Twitter? You piece of shit. I can't tell if he's got a mustache in that one or not. Is that a mustache in this one? I know plenty of women with mustaches, just so we're all clear. Maybe. Hips like a male. My hips don't lie. I'll tell you that much. Mustache, yes. I'm going to go with mustache. He does have a mustache. Could it be a fake mustache? Absolutely. I'm going to say yes. He does have a mustache. Whatever this dark bit is here. It looks like he's got a black mustache and it looks straight. Kind of looks like my... Is this me, chat? And your little dog, too. I don't know where that came from. Shouldn't have said that.
Reviewing the newly released. I apologize for the delay. I was once again with the president. He and I were both reviewing the newly released surveillance footage from FBI in the Savannah.
You guys want me to go get a ski mask and put it on and see what the difference is?
Case on just this heartbreaking situation with respect to her mother. The president.
The Wicked Witch of the East, bro. You guys seen that video? God damn. I crack up every time. I get in arguments like that all the fucking time.
Encourages any American across the country with any knowledge of the suspect to please call the FBI, who continue to assist state and local authorities who are leading this investigation on the ground. And once again, I will reiterate that the prayers of this entire White House are with Savannah and her family at this time. And we hope this person is found soon and that her mother is brought home safely. I apologize for the delay. So
that was pretty basic, right? You guys know the video I'm talking about where they get in the big argument? That one was the Wicked Witch of the West and the other one's the Wicked Witch of the East. Now I gotta watch it. It's like such a low stake issue, but where they're like family. And it's so hard for me to explain shit to people. And I feel like I lay it out so well. If you don't come to the same conclusion, we're yelling. This is it. This is a 100%. This is an argument with my family.
Hold on. This is my family. Hold on. Her sister was a witch, right? And what was her sister? A princess. The Wicked Witch of the East, bro. I'm gonna stab him. You're gonna look at me and you're gonna tell me that I'm wrong? Am I wrong? It's my favorite she wore a crown and she came down in a bubble, dog. I'm not fighting with you. Grow up, bro. Grow up. Get educated, bud. Hold on. This is my family. Hold on. Her sister was a witch, right? And what was her sister? A princess. The Wicked Witch of the East, bro. I'm gonna stab him. You're gonna look at me and you're gonna tell me that I'm wrong? Am I wrong? It's my favorite she wore a crown and she came down in a bubble, dog. I'm not fighting with you. Grow up.
She wore a crown and she came down in a bubble, dog. A bubble!
Bro, grow up! Get educated!
Then he tells him to grow up. Grow up! Yeah, I love that video. All right. We're back on the case. Sorry, we just got a little bit distracted, okay? We're back on the case. Cross-eyed for the cover-up.
Trafficking themselves make the most sense. I'm with my buddy Bongino, live on TV. He's looking like he might shit his pants to me. Tells everyone is a tough guy, but turns out is the biggest pussy. They're calling me a liar. I had to lie to cover up the truth that my girlfriend is for hire. Alexis too was an Epstein prostitute. Come on, they're calling me a liar. Corrective lenses will not fix them.
This is what AI was made for.
Got friends I need to retire.
Cross-eyed for the cover-up. Love the energy. Now do the Epstein tapes. Okay, Internet. What brand of jacket has a black strip across it? Somebody colorized it, I guess. People are just doing AI-generated photos. Definitely this guy. AI told me it was this guy. To me, it seems falsely created. To me, this seems to be falsely created after the fact. What the hell is going on here? I think this stinks to dog shit, knee deep in whatever is going on. The mom is dead. The sister's in on it. She hired someone to stage a kidnapping. Something went wrong, and the mom either died or was killed. Sister likely embarrassed by serious debt. Ashamed to ask rich sister for money. Time to get back to the real issues we face in this country. Nailed it. Ooh, Don Lemon. Same build, same eyebrows, reflectors on shoes. This guy, a neighbor, caught creeping around a few miles from Nancy's house in the weeks leading up to her abduction. Why is in the media asking who he is? Allegedly. Everybody's asking Grok to help. Savannah Guthrie's ex-husband, Mark Orchard. Maybe. I don't see that. The eyes look different. Son-in-law, Annie's husband. A wrist tattoo on the suspect, maybe a cross or sword. Huh. I don't know. That's where we're at, chat. No one knows what's going on. There's been activity on the Bitcoin wallet. I don't know. Did they send the money or not? Or are they still holding out for proof of life or something?
News. Joining us now live on the phone is the FBI Director, Kash Patel, with more details.
This is from an hour ago.
Tonight's breaking news. Director Patel, great to have you as always. Thank you for being here. Obviously, this is the big break we've been waiting for. I know the FBI played a very big role in being able to retrieve this tape. Can you give us some background on how you were able to do that?
Yeah, Sean, look, it's great to be with you, and it was great to be,
Well, the police have had it the whole time, I'm assuming.
In Arizona with our FBI teams leading the charge with the local law enforcement there. Things like this happen when you have great partnerships with the private sector.
Oh, I become like a weird fucking middle-aged fucking weirdo and got a watch. So I don't do watches, but I'm trying it out. If you guys see it in the next week, it made it. They typically don't last more than a day or two.
And because President Trump delivered these great partnerships with these private sector companies, we were able to execute lawful searches and go to these private sector companies and expedite results and then go into their systems and actually excavate material that people would think would normally be deleted and no one would look for. And basically, without getting into too many of the details, that's how the FBI worked with our private sector partners to pull out material that people thought didn't even exist because of the specific type of subscription service on the Ring doorbell. But thanks to this brilliant partnership, we were able to get it out, sharpen it with our technical capabilities at the FBI, and put it out.
Okay, so it wasn't deleted, but people think when you just hit delete, it's gone. It's often not.
Because, as you were just talking about, this investigation of this magnitude was going to require the public's assistance, which is why we put it out nearly immediately.
Why haven't they shown a video? I guess he disabled the camera. I was going to say, why haven't they showed the video of her leaving the area or the whatever?
The video, the photo.
Or him leaving.
And we continue to receive tips, and we encourage all Americans to provide any and all tips. And based upon that, we were able to expand the investigation and take the appropriate next steps, which is what we're doing and what you're seeing unfold.
Okay. Was the FBI involvement, there have been reports, was it delayed?
Well, Sean, in a kidnapping case or missing persons case, that's always a state and local law enforcement matter. And we had always offered our assistance from the beginning, taking our cues from local law enforcement. And so we've tried and we've been there and offered all resources. We've surged assets. I've put personnel and tactical units there in Arizona to make sure local law enforcement has what they need. But at the end of the day, the FBI is the only one who has the capabilities and the technical discipline to go in there and assist local law enforcement to get this type of information. And not only were we able to get this type of information, but we were able to exploit information pursuant to our private sector partner engagements that showed us that there might be persons of interest.
Blood on the porch, but nowhere else is strange, right?
In and around the area related to this event. And so first and foremost, our priority is to find Nancy Guthrie. And of course, right behind that is to find anyone and any others involved in this kidnapping case to make sure they're brought to justice. And that's what we're doing. We're protecting the integrity of the investigation. But we're also being very public because it's a very public-facing case. And as President Trump rightly said, all resources have been dedicated to this investigation. They're going to continue on the ground, getting everything and absolutely anything they need from the FBI.
Director Patel, can I ask you just straight up, do you believe there are people of interest now? Have we gotten to that point? Are there potential suspects now out there?
Sean, without polluting the investigation, I will say we have made substantial progress in these last 36, 48 hours thanks to the technical capabilities of the FBI and our partnerships. And I do believe we are looking at people who, as we say, are persons of interest. But as you know, with any investigation, you are a person of interest until you're either eliminated or you're actually found to be the culprit or the culprit's involved. And that's the stage we're at right now.
Well, what can you tell us about the timing of apparently people now around her being swabbed for DNA? I would assume that maybe some people are even being brought in. There has been no confirmation that they're being given lie detector tests. Can you confirm the truth of those reports?
Sean, I can generally say this. We are going to interview and interrogate absolutely every single person that we think is involved with this or has information related to this. And we're going to use all of our capabilities without divulging them to advance this investigation. And that's what you saw play out here. In these last 36 hours, the FBI showed up, worked with our partners in the private sector, exploited and excavated data that people thought were missing and deleted. And
someone said the son-in-law is in a band and that this looks like one of the bandmates.
Out to the public, got tips, led to further information exploitation, and led to further interviews. And we're not stopping. My team is on the ground. We're working through the night. And none of those guys that I talked to when I was in Arizona.
YouTube wouldn't let him talk about spaghetti?
Cash Patel.
Are you shitting me?
To advance this investigation. And that's what you saw play out here. In these last 36 hours, the FBI showed up, worked with our partners in the private sector, exploited and excavated data that people thought were missing and deleted, enhanced it, put it out to the public, got tips, led to further information exploitation, and led to further interviews. And we're not stopping. My team is on the ground. We're working through the night. And none of those guys that I talked to when I was in Arizona or while I'm there have probably slept in a week, and they're not going to sleep because this case is about the most important to the American public, and we are going to continue working to make sure we give the American public the answers, and most importantly, the Guthrie family, hopefully the return of their mother and the modicum of justice that they deserve after this horrific event.
What can you tell us about the FBI agents spotted combing low-lying desert brush near Annie Guthrie's home? What can you tell us about the neighborhood around Savannah's sister, Annie Guthrie's neighborhood, as the SWAT team rolled out from the sheriff department, if anything?
Look, that's just what the FBI does. We're not taking any chances. We're going out there and combing neighborhoods and swaths of territory where we think there might be possible information, and we're going to go out and talk to anyone who has information or we believe has information in this or is involved in this tangentially or otherwise, and we're going to continue to develop those leads, continue to serve legal process, continue to work with our private sector partners, and continue to produce as much information publicly as we can, Sean, and you know this is the key, while upholding the integrity of the investigation so that we can get to a conclusion here and hopefully return Nancy Guthrie to her family and find the culprit or culprits that are involved.
Last question, if I may. Do you feel like it would be appropriate to say you feel with this progress today that the FBI is closing in?
The FBI is making advancements, and I don't want the people out there to have a false hope of what we are putting forward, but we have made significant steps in executing this investigation like we do when we deploy our tactical and expertise capabilities, our evidence response technicians, and our agents on the ground. And that's why we've made such progress, because we've committed so many resources to this investigation, and we are using headquarters components and components from around the country to make sure that every single person and expert is on the ground in Arizona for as long as it takes.
Well, 6 out of 10 on the most wanted list, top 10 most wanted list of the FBI in 1 year is pretty impressive. FBI Director Kash Patel, thank you. We really appreciate it. We wish you and your agents Godspeed in this investigation and the safe recovery of Nancy Guthrie and return to her family.
Law enforcement officials have detained a person for questioning a Nancy Guthrie case. The sheriff's department said the department didn't say whether this is the same person seen in footage earlier released by the FBI. Separately, FBI Director Kash Patel said agents are investigating persons of interest. There was an uptick in calls to law enforcement after the FBI released doorbell camera footage from outside Nancy Guthrie's front door, taking the night she disappeared, showing a masked, armed person. Today's show host Savannah Guthrie then posted a new message from her family saying they believe their mother is still alive.
We have another major development in the investigation and search for 84-year-old Nancy Guthrie. According to a law enforcement official familiar with the investigation, Pima County authorities have another
it's Barry, okay? Chill out. It's a medical condition. I do it twice an hour, every 30 minutes like clockwork. I can't help it. You don't have to watch, but I do have to stroke it.
In the investigation and search for 84-year-old Nancy Guthrie. According to a law enforcement official familiar with the investigation, Pima County authorities and the FBI have detained a person for questioning. We must stress at this point that we are also told by this source that the person has not been charged and is simply being detained for questioning this investigation. This comes hours after the FBI released haunting images of what they believe to be the suspect who detained and abducted Nancy Guthrie from her home here 10 days ago.
It would help if you would talk about how small it is in chat. I'm just throwing that out there. Wait. Suspect was detained during a traffic stop. A subject was detained and is currently being questioned in connection with the Nancy Guthrie investigation. Oh, maybe they could have known who they were looking for, ran the plates, traffic stop. Subject was stopped during a traffic stop south of Tucson. The department said the individual was detained near the border in Rio Rico, a law enforcement official said. The post did not indicate if the subject is believed to be the same person featured in the photos and videos released by the FBI this morning. Additional information will be released as it becomes available, the Sheriff's Department said, and there is no press conference scheduled at this time. I don't trust Kash Patel at all. When he's like, oh, we're looking at a person of interest, I just think he thinks that that's like something you say, right? It's not like he knows like 6 people and they're looking for him or whatever. He just thinks that's something they say. Okay, I didn't say talk to me like Trump talks to a reporter. Jesus Christ. Now I feel like I have performance anxiety. What is this? I have a loaded gun? What is this? Out of nowhere, this car aggressively pulls up.
Yeah, we had one pull.
Okay. This is a stand your ground state. I've seen that pink car. These are called rollers when they go out and shoot cars from one car while another car is driving or whatever. Yeah.
We're not.
Wow, people are fucking crazy. A stand your ground state, but you chase down the motherfucker. I don't think that's stand your ground, lady. It's not the same. All right, let's get to this. Luke on the verge of tears again, but that's every show. So let's see what he's been talking about.
I want to do one other segment. I can't believe we're on day 2 of this, talking about the Bad Bunny MAGA meltdown. Because there's now a member of Congress wanting to investigate the gay pornography that took place at the halftime show. Which I watched the halftime show.
Pornography.
And I'm not saying I'm an expert, but I would have noticed. I would have noticed if there was gay pornography. Anyway, so we're going to get to that claim. We're going to get to all the weird elements of this, including Megyn Kelly being furious that global superstar Bad Bunny sang in Spanish, saying, you know, you get it.
Politically in the end, his Grammys speech was, but his performance, I thought, was actually a lot of things which I would have thought people on the conservative right.
Traditional values, right? There was an actual heterosexual marriage that happened during this.
Would applaud. It was about love. A couple actually got married for real in the middle of it. He was preaching about unity, not just the United States of America, but the wider Americas. What was the problem, Megyn?
A certain male gesture is coming to mind, but I'm not sure I can do it on the show. No, it wasn't about what he was actually going to do during
gyrating
of the Super Bowl performance. It's about him. It's about him being chosen as the Super Bowl performer, somebody who's been an outspoken critic, of course, of the Trump administration and of America and our anti-immigrant policies. This is long before the current controversy over ICE.
Luke points this out in a second, but it was exactly what I was thinking about when I first saw this clip. Think about how Trump talks about the country and everything that's happening in the country when he's not in office. That we're turning into a shithole, a third world country. He couldn't believe it, but how horrible it is. Horrible. And no one says MAGA doesn't say a word about it. But then when he's in office, if someone criticizes the country, then they're against us. They don't want to be with us. The way they've talked about our country and our leadership.
Doesn't want illegals deported from this country. Well, too bad, because the majority of Americans do want that and are not shy about pushing for it, and that's why President Trump got elected. So he and his little buddies over at Green Day never miss a chance to bash the United States of America. He got selected because...
So she's about to do this little bit where she says something strange, but before I play that, you can't keep doing this, MAGA. I'm sorry.
Yeah, he's going to say right here.
Where you conflate criticizing the state of things or the government with hating the country. You can't do it, especially not whenever the guy you elected.
That's why it's so stupid to be like, you don't love it, then leave it. No, this is how our country's supposed to work. We complain and change things.
Described us during his 2024 campaign as a country in serious decline, a third world nation. Don Jr. described us as like a shithole country. And whenever it was politically advantageous, you described in the worst terms.
I thought they all quit watching the NFL when Colin Kaepernick took a knee. Why did they all fucking come back? Just to be let down again?
Possible America. You can't conflate criticism of the state of the country with hating the country. It just doesn't work anymore. We're all sick of it. We're sick of it. So that's number one, and that's what she's doing with Bad Bunny. Let's keep listening, though. Just the quickest pause to request that you click the subscribe button, the simplest, easiest, freest way, completely free, to support the work that we do. Right below the video, click that subscribe button. Back to the video.
Jay-Z, for some reason, has got the choice over who performs at our Super Bowl, who's another problem. Don't even get me started on his friendship with Jeffrey Epstein. Why is he...
Yeah, not nearly as close as Epstein and Trump, but...
he choosing who's appropriate for American children to watch during our seminal sporting event. And I'm sorry, Piers, but to get up there and perform...
His company has the contract to do the entertainment for the NFL for the Super Bowl.
The whole show in Spanish is a middle finger to the rest of America. Who gives a damn that we have...
It's not really. Hey, the whole broadcast was in English. Hey, all the post-game interviews were in English. Hey, Charlie Puth's national anthem was in English. Hey, Lady Gaga's performance during the halftime show was in English. Hey, all the halftime shows before that were in English. It was like a themed halftime show. You had a moment of exhibiting a different language as a part of an artistic performance. It's not like they said, this year, the commentators will only speak in Spanish at an American sports game, and then the majority of the viewers won't know what's being said. That's not what happened. It's a music show, Megan.
How many of these stupid motherfuckers... to this day, if the Macarena comes on, they'd still dance to it. Then I'm like, I don't even know, what is this? I've never heard such. What, are they speaking in tongues? They still dance to it, and they don't understand a single fucking word of it. Oh, that one was different.
Spanish is a middle finger to the rest of America. Who gives a damn that we have 40 million Spanish speakers in the United States? We have 310 million who don't speak a lick of Spanish. This is supposed to be a unifying event for the country, not for the Latinos, not for one small group, but for the country. We don't need a black national anthem. We don't need a Spanish-speaking, non-English performer. And
Megan, this is every normal person who has work to do and a life and kids to take care of. What? Oh, you're being so what? What? How do you summon? There's no way she feels this for real. How do you summon this much irritation? It's like Trump takes away millions of people healthcare, and she's like, "Oh, sorry, I don't have time to talk about that." But then Bad Bunny speaks in Spanish. She's like, "It's a middle finger to Americans." Not really. And kind of as Piers was saying, credit to him.
Or go to a Mexican restaurant for their birthday so they can sing "Happy Birthday" in a language they don't understand while they cheer and laugh.
There were so many beautiful themes in it. Even if you don't understand the lyrics, it wasn't even the most interesting halftime show to me. The other ones I've seen I was more riveted by, but there was nothing offensive. Even if I was putting on my MAGA lens of like trying to see what they would be offended by, it was just like, hey. Even Ben Shapiro, who does a lot of those cultural critiques, like there's some horrors in this house.
Ben Shapiro only listens to classical music. We're going to let him pick the halftime entertainment?
There's some horrors in this house. Wet ass P-word. These are disgusting lyrics from the artist Cardi B.
If your P word is that wet, maybe it's time to see a doctor. He said.
Even he was kind of like, oh, wasn't bad. Wasn't terrible.
Overall, honestly, like great production value. I understand. This halftime show is not aimed at me. I listen to classical music, and there was the usual plethora of butts on the screen, which again has become common to all halftime shows, unfortunately.
And then he goes on to say, but there were a lot of positive themes, but he keeps coming back to how many butts on screen there were.
Here and there. I already mentioned the Where's Waldo of human butts that happened. Apparently some of those.
Yeah, I didn't really care for the Weeknd's halftime show. Liam was excited because it was like a meme thing or whatever, but.
Famous butts, but there's a Where's Waldo of human butts. There's also, of course...
I listen to classical music. Stop. For a second. Stop. What do you want at this halftime show?
Kendrick Lamar was pretty good.
That could actually be a pretty epic start. So, but anyways, the right kept saying this. I missed how many butts there were. I saw one part there was like a whole shake, but that was like the thing in the 1980s that conservatives would get upset about. Stop shaking your butt. Or like before that, Elvis, he's gyrating his hips too much. There weren't even like we're all adults here. Let's just analyze for a second. There wasn't even like the skin of a butt hanging out. There were the skin of the buttocks was covered, but then it was just shaking. Is that bad to y'all? That's like so just fun. That's like a human. You got a little extra blubs back there. You shake it. That's what you're supposed to do with it. Where do you think the phrase "shake what your mama gave to you" came from?
Easy, Luke.
You gotta let your mama give it to you and you're not gonna shake it? Okay, that's a middle finger. That would be a middle finger to Americans, is if you didn't shake it. But it wasn't even like a weirdly sexual halftime show at all. It had a really positive theme and the marriage and all that. And Bad Bunny had a very clothed outfit, to much people's disappointment. Had a lot of clothes on. Not me. And it wasn't even a feminine outfit. They were nervous he was going to wear like...
How often is it like when they brought up the gay porn, he's like, no, that I'm an expert. And he's like, well, a lot of people didn't want him wearing that many clothes. Not me. Oh, he can't outrun the accusations.
Feminine outfit to be...
I like Luke. It's just funny.
Countercultural. Didn't. So I missed that. But apparently Representative Andy Ogles, a Republican, thought that he saw pure smut. Sexual things. Andy Ogles did not enjoy Bad Bunny's halftime show, denouncing as pure smut and calling for a congressional investigation.
Andy Ogles is calling for a congressional investigation, accusing it of depicting gay pornography.
Y'all are such weirdos. And accusing of depicting gay pornography. When?
No one said shit when they had the furry party at Mar-a-Lago like a month ago. Right? Where were y'all at when the furries came to Mar-a-Lago?
Where? No, I'm serious. Where? Can you send me the link? No, not really. To be clear, the halftime show did not include any pornography.
Wait, he did it again. No, I'm just kidding.
When? Where? No, I'm serious. Where? Can you send me the link? No, not really. To be clear, the halftime show did not
Easy, Luke.
include any pornography, straight, gay, or otherwise true. This is not a matter of a reasonable factual dispute. The performance was watched live on television by millions of people, and it's posted in its entirety on the NFL's YouTube channel. There was no porn. You can watch it. But Andy Ogles said last night's halftime show was a disgrace and it mocked American families. It made another family. It made a marriage. A real legal marriage happened in the middle of the show. Depicting gay pornography on primetime has no place in our culture. Where was the gay pornography? The Bad Bunny performance is conclusive proof that Puerto Rico should not be a state. Well, that's random, Andy. So lots of wild responses.
I hate that he's from Tennessee, to be honest with you. Gay pornography? There's a whole ass heterosexual wedding. What are you even saying?
Pornography? There was a whole ass heterosexual wedding. What are you even saying? I saw a lot of right-wingers who were being less crazy, but said I liked it because there wasn't any gay stuff. Like some of them were complimenting. They're like, dude, they did a wedding and it wasn't even between two dudes. That's awesome. The right-wingers who were happy about it. Then he goes,
Spanish people are traditionally pretty conservative. Like if the right wing would stop being so racist towards them, they would probably get all their votes.
Goes on to say the Apple Music Super Bowl.
Right? They have like a strong reliance on like religion in the home and conservative and traditional roles, kind of. But the Republicans are just so fucking racist.
Halftime show was pure smut, brazenly aired on national television for every American family to witness. Children were forced to endure explicit displays of gay sexual acts, women gyrating provocatively, and Bad Bunny shamelessly grabbing his crotch while dry humping the air. All right. Okay. He barely...
I don't know if he grabbed his crotch. His hand was at his crotch area.
He grabbed his crotch. He put his hand over his crotch. Maybe he pinched it briefly. There was no like grabbing. And
I think they get all worked up and they fucking get on Grindr, and there's no... They can't do Grindr meetups because they're afraid they get outed, so...
Did you say this after Michael Jackson's halftime show? Because I can tell you there was almost certainly crotch grabbing going on. That was his whole thing. Not his whole thing. Oh my gosh, sorry. Not. No, I mean like he would dance with his hand there. And then he said,
wait till Andy Ogles sees Heated Rivalry.
And if that weren't outrageous enough, the performance's lyrics openly glorified sodomy.
Yes, Michael Jackson, that was his whole dance.
I thought you said you couldn't understand the lyrics. And countless other unspeakable depravities. Okay, Andy, you horny. Hey Andy, come here. You horny. Calm down.
There's something wrong with him.
There is. What was the soundbite that you two were giggling about? I want to hear that one. Oh, that's funny. Okay. Let down. So these flagrant, that's good. These flagrant indecent, every time it starts, I think it's about to start a song. So then I give it a slap. It's okay. These flagrant indecent acts are illegal to be displayed on public airwaves. If it wasn't copyrighted, I would play for all of you.
Illegal for public airwaves. The halftime show, what happened at the halftime show, he's claiming illegal on public airways. That's why I'm requesting that the Energy and Commerce Committee launch a formal congressional inquiry in the National Football League and NBC immediately for their prior knowledge, deliberate approval, and falsification of this incident, of this indecent broadcast. American culture will not be mocked or corrupted without consequence. These guys are letting Trump walk all over them, but here's where they take their stand. It wasn't this big a fucking deal. It was a big deal, but they didn't try to make this big a deal out of the fucking nip slip. They claimed that was accidental. Oh, no, wardrobe malfunction. He just reached over and ripped her fucking tit out.
the halftime show to disprove what he's saying. Okay. Hey. All right, cool. And then he said, this is why I'm requesting the Energy and Commerce Committee launch a formal congressional inquiry into the NFL and NBC immediately. You're so pinned out. If you in 2026, given some of what has gone on stages, like, guys, sometimes there have been music performances that I'm like, that did go a little crazy. Like, there was a little bit too much activity of a sexual nature, just for if it's like public to everybody. This was not one of those. And for you in 2026 to be upset that
I just assume if it's a cabinet member and I don't know who it is right offhand that it's Marco Rubio, because he's holding like 8 positions right now.
People with normal shorts on just like shook their butt. You're out of your mind.
Their shorts were longer than Kid Rock's shorts. 100%.
Then I don't know what you're talking about. Glorifying sodomy, and then you call it an unspeakable depravity. Brother, take a seat, brother. You haven't seen unspeakable depravities. You don't know the first thing about unspeakable depravities. One thing that we made fun of a lot yesterday was this country music performer who performed at the alternative TPUSA halftime show.
Oh gosh. I want to cut my grass. I want to eat some ass. It was fucking insane, dude. Acting like the left's keeping him from wearing boots and talking to his kids. Like, what the fuck are you doing, dude?
I'm gonna drive a truck. I'm gonna drink beer and all that stuff. And
it's that what's the guy's name that does the parody songs? It's his like propaganda song. You know who I'm talking about? Oh fuck, I can never think of his name. Who's the guy that does the comedian that does the songs? I'll have to look it up.
I missed what happened later in his song.
My dog, where are my boots?
He did more! You're not creative. Sorry.
No,
All you can think of for a country song is I fish, I hunt, I eat steak, I drink beer, I shoot a gun, I wear boots, and I walk a dog. Think of some other theme, please.
Now turn the TV on, sit and watch the evening news. Be told if I tell my own daughter that little boys ain't blue.
So now we actually, the part I didn't play for you is apparently did get to more creative territory, just some wacky creativity, which was him bitching, for lack of a better term, about feeling alienated for being a country boy, which I love you. Hey, love you. But I don't believe that's happening very much. I think you're doing a little bit too much self-victimhood about if you tell your boy they can't become a girl, that like you're going to be societally persecuted. Now, you could be accused of being anti-trans, right? But then he says living a country life isn't allowed in this country anymore. It's like, have you ever seen a campaign ad before, sir?
His song is like Bo Burnham's song. Listen.
Gets a bad rep. You know, why is it that when Bruce Springsteen sings about a fucking turnpike, it is art, and then when someone sings about a horse, it's dumb inherently? I think some of the greatest songwriters of all time are country artists, Dolly Parton, Willie Nelson, you know? And if you're writing honestly, that is art, and I would never bash that. The problem is, with a lot of modern country music, what is called stadium country music, the sort of Keith Urban brand of country music, is that it is not honest. It is the exact opposite of honest.
Where instead of people actually telling their stories, you got a bunch of millionaire metrosexuals who've never done a hard day's work in their life, but they figured out the words and the phrases they can use to pander to their audience, and they list the same words and phrases off sort of Mad Lib style in every song, raking in millions of dollars from actual working class people. You know the words, you know the phrases like a dirt road, a cold beer, a blue jeans, a red pickup, a rural noun, simple adjective. No shoes, no shirt, no Jews, you didn't hear that. Sort of a mental typo. I walk and talk like a field hand, but the boots I'm wearing cost $3,000. I write songs about riding tractors from the comfort of a private jet. I could sing in Mandarin, you'd still know I'm pandering, hunting deer, chasing trout, a Bud Light with the logo facing out. Hear that subtle mandolin? That's textbook pandering.
That's this guy.
On a private branch that I rarely use. I'm like dirt. One verse, one chord.
That's this guy. I want to wear my boots. I want to chase that buck.
You'll have the most city candidate ever. The person who's never worked on a farm dress up in overalls and go walk around with farmers and be like, I'm representing these people. I'm for farmers. Even if you know they don't know anything about farmers. If they don't know what I know about farmers, which is a lot, by the way. There's so much pandering to country folk. And I want y'all to be represented too. But there's a lot of pandering to the more rural voters for sure.
If I tell my own daughter that little boys ain't little girls, I'll be up the creek in hot water.
I'll be up the creek in hot water in this cancel your ass world. If I tell my daughter that little boys aren't little girls.
This cancel your ass world. It ain't easy being country in this country nowadays.
Got $6,000 fucking ostrich skin on his feet. It ain't easy being country in this country nowadays.
Directions of finger points. Everything goes up in flames. Say I'm some right wing devil, 'cause I was down south, Jesus raised.
By the way, pre-recorded. The halftime show was pre-recorded with hired actors. You don't have to take my word for it. In fact, Kid Rock tells everybody this.
We're here to address... What's up, people? We're here to address the fake news media. And
how bad his lip sync was.
I was lip syncing on the Turning Point USA halftime to Ball with the...
Well, you were only off by about...
Say thank you to my DJ.
60 to 70 seconds.
From Detroit this evening. It's Monday night. Flew down from Detroit this evening just so we can make this video for you. And we get to hang out and drink a couple beers, so it's all good. So, the Turning Point of Ball with the Ball, you know that song's Chaos. And the first thing is, if I was ever going to lip sync, which I wouldn't, that would be the last song I would ever have to bring in the fold to do it to. We've performed this song every night on tour since 1998, since the day it was released. So the Turning Point event, so they sent me a first cut.
Is his shorts getting shorter?
And my comment was, the sync is...
I want this fucking pause. Are his shorts getting shorter? These look shorter than the jorts. He and Ricky Martin are the exact same age. You're
What's
right.
up, people? And my comment...
Okay, now it pauses.
The sync is off. They were trying to line up. If I was ever going to lip sync, which I wouldn't, that would be the last song I would ever have to bring in the fold to do it to. We've performed this song every night on tour since 1998.
People were like, it was a stream delay, you idiots. So you're telling me the guy on stage that we're listening to sing is delayed differently than the words fucking coming out of his mouth? It would all be delayed the same.
Since the day it was released. So the Turning Point event, so they sent me a first cut. You know, we taped it, and then they sent me a first cut.
We taped it. It wasn't live. They taped it, and no one knew about it. So who were the people in the audience, the 200 people in the audience? People they paid to be there. Friends and family, and people they paid to fucking be there.
And my comment was, the sync is off. They were trying to line up. First off, if we would have done it, if we would have recorded it and then played like we were singing it, lip synced it, it would have been pie. It would have been pie to line up.
Wait, you just said that it would be impossible to lip sync it. It'd be the last song I'd ever lip sync because it's chaos. It's almost impossible to do. But if I would have done that, I would have had it lip sync perfectly.
Very difficult for them because somebody clearly wasn't super familiar with the song. Also, when I asked them, I go,
You mean to tell me Tapusa, the biggest Kid Rock fans who brought you to the Super Bowl stage, sorta, they don't even know your most famous song? They're probably all singing the pedophile one, aren't they?
Freddie raps that song with me, my DJ. And they're like, he does what? And I'm like, oh no. I'm like, yeah, do we have any cutaways of Freddie? And
they didn't record him at all, and he's the backup vocals in it. They're going to give you an example here in a second. No. It sucks just as bad as the actual performance.
No, he wasn't. Were you lit up?
No. Excuse me.
No, I was lit up. Any TV time? No. Sorry, no.
I mean, you can see my silhouette.
So they don't have that footage. Now, it's extremely difficult for them to line up the sync. Could have been done if we had more time. I'm confident they could have got it right. I only got...
Yeah, it could have been done by doing this. That could have done it. So everybody else in the world does it.
To see one edit. And I didn't think it was the end of the world. I saw what it was doing. The mic's coming down, the sync was off. Because when we're rapping it, that song takes so much energy. You've seen me, people see me do. I'm flipping mics. I'm jumping around like a rabid monkey on stage, still trying to at 55 years old. And so me and Freddie are like this. I'm like, and this is.
By the way, you know how he says like, I'm not straight out of Compton, I'm straight out the trailer. And his whole thing is that like he's like a poor guy from Detroit. He grew up in a trailer park, like Eminem kind of deal. You know, his family's like super fucking wealthy, right? Their $10 million estate is right, or $15 million estate is for sale right now. It has an apple orchard. It has fucking horses. It's got fucking acreage. He grew up incredibly wealthy.
All the questions that don't have any
stable. It's got enough stables for, I think, was it 30 horses or something like that? Here's how it goes.
Jumping around like a rabid monkey on stage, still trying to at 55 years old. And so me and Freddie are like this. I'm like, and this is for the questions that don't have any answers. The midnight dancers and the topless dancers. The gang, the freaks, the cars packed with speakers. The G's with the 40s and the chicks with beepers. The northern lights and the southern comfort. And
so he sings half the song so he can breathe.
Don't even matter if your veins are punctured. All the crackheads, the critics, the cynics, all my heroes in the methadone clinics, all you bastards in the IRS. It's for the crooked cops and the cluttered desks. It's for the shots of Jack and the caps of meth, the half pints of love and the fists of stress. It's for my hookers all tricking out in Hollywood. It's for my hoods of the world misunderstood. I said it's all good. Yeah, and it's all in fun. Now get in the bed and try to love someone. Boom. So he's filling in those words for me so I can boom, bang my head, keep going and carrying on. Now when I'm doing that, you see me, I'm all over the stage. Ooh, I'm flipping the mic. I'm down here. I'm over here, back. Boom. I know these guys had a difficult time getting that sync together. So I have nothing but good things to say, not only about Turning Point, but the production team that they work with on and other events they've done, top notch, first class all the way. Nobody's perfect, gets it right every time. But for the haters and the trolls out there, that's exactly what happened. And by the way, most of you know this. If you have any inclination, some of you that are in the entertainment world.
Is ba with the ba? Is that English?
You can look at that and be like, oh, the sync's off. But no, they had to like lie and say, oh, he was lip syncing. And then
what's crazy is like, I get it. All right, you had to sync every camera, but you think you would sync like every angle or whatever. But there was he comes out on the stage and there's a point where he's synced up. There's a point where he's a minute and a half behind. What the fuck happened?
The problem is people amplify this all over the internet, and I know most people don't even care, but there's certain people that just keep repeating it so people think it's a fact. And it goes on both sides. They did it to Bad Bunny in his defense when they were saying he said you have 4 months to learn Spanish. He was on Saturday Night Live. I think he was joking.
It was a joke, but it pissed off MAGA.
Especially in the fake news media, the left-wingers, crazy libtards. So if you want to come see us perform live, if you really want to see it live, our Freedom 250 tour goes on sale this Friday. Tickets available.
They had to cancel a couple of appearances because no one showed up.
Through Ticketmaster, believe it or not, I've worked something out pretty good with them. I'll be explaining that in the following days to come, tomorrow or the next day. 'Cause like I said, tickets.
Here's a quick, how long is this? Yeah, this is a quick video. We'll speed it up. So this is where Kid Rock actually grew up.
What if
straight from the trailer park?
American badass who claimed to be straight out the trailer actually grew up on a 6-acre estate with a private tennis court and his own horses. He told the world a story about grit, poverty, and Detroit survival, but the reality was apple orchards, heated garages, and a safety net made of solid gold. Here's how Kid Rock became the cowboy of the country club.
I think his dad owns a bunch of car lots, maybe?
Come from the gutter. He came from Romeo, Michigan. Romeo is not Detroit. No, Romeo is where executives live so they don't have to look at Detroit. The place of rolling hills and manicured lawns and lots of silence. His father, William Ritchie, wasn't a factory worker busting his knuckles on an assembly line. He was a tycoon. He owned Crest, Lincoln, Mercury. He actually owned multiple car dealerships. In Michigan, owning a dealership network in the 70s and 80s was the closest thing you could get to being royalty. It meant new cars in the driveway every few months. It meant custom suits. It meant the smell of expensive cologne and the squeak of leather shoes on marble floors. And the Ritchie home was not a double wide. It was a sprawling 5,600-acre-foot colonial mansion. It sat on 6 acres of pristine land. It had an apple orchard, had a place for horses to run, had a tennis court.
5,600 square foot. 5,600 square foot.
that was maintained with hired help. When Bob Ritchie woke up in the morning, he didn't hear police sirens or domestic disputes through paper-thin walls. He heard the lovely sound of birds chirping and the sound of landscapers mowing the lawn. And this is the environment where the quote-unquote pimp of the...
I'm not saying he can't make music from there, but why lie about it?
Bob loved hip-hop. He loved the energy, the rebellion, the noise. But he was a tourist. He'd get in his car, a car that his dad bought, and drive down from the safety of Romeo into the dark, sweating clubs of Detroit. He treated the inner city like a petting zoo. He went there to absorb the culture, to steal the moves, and to copy that swagger. A little later, he started breakdancing. He actually even joined a crew, and he called himself Kid Rock. And the costume wasn't a fedora and fur coat. It was a polyester tracksuit. It was a high-top fade haircut that defied gravity, and it was hammer pants. He looked like every other suburban kid trying to mimic what he saw on MTV Rap. And he got good at it, technically. He could scratch records, he could breakdance, but he had a safety net that the kids he was battling did not have. If they failed at rap, they went to work at the plant or they went to jail. If Bob Ritchie failed at rap, he went to college or he took a desk at a Lincoln Mercury dealership, so he got signed to Jive Records in 1990. And this was his big break. He released an album called Grits Sandwiches for Breakfast, and it was exactly what you think it was. A white kid from the suburbs rapping about things he had seen in movies. He was trying to be the Beastie Boys, but he ended up being a footnote. And then Vanilla Ice happened. Vanilla Ice exploded onto the scene and then imploded just as fast. He actually became a national punchline. And suddenly, being a white rapper in a tracksuit wasn't cool anymore. It was toxic. Jive Records dropped Kid Rock. They looked at the market, saw the crater that Vanilla Ice had left, and decided they did not need another white guy from the suburbs pretending to be street. Now, this is the moment where most people would have quit. Most people would have gone back to the dealership. But Bob Ritchie was smart. He wasn't an artist in the traditional sense. He was a marketer as well. He looked at the landscape, saw that grunge was taking over, saw that people were pissed. So he wanted that authentic vibe, and that was the new buzzword. But he realized he couldn't be the street guy anymore. He had to be something else. He had to be something more grimy, dirty, something that scared off the parents of Romeo. He looked around in his dad's estate, looked at the whole white trash culture that existed on the fringes of his wealthy bubble. The guys who fixed the cars at the dealership, the guys who mowed the lawn. He saw their aesthetic, the trucker hats, the shirts with the ripped off sleeves, the cheap beer, bad attitudes. So he decided he was going to put on a costume. He didn't move into a trailer park. He didn't sell his belongings and live on the street. He stayed in that mansion, as well as comfortable apartments paid for by his hustle and his family's connections, and he started building that character. He bought the fedora, bought the fur coats from thrift stores to look like a pimp, but a broke pimp, started growing the hair out, stopped washing it as much, started speaking with a bit of a twang that didn't exist in the hallways of Romeo High School. They formed a backing band, Twisted Brown Trucker. He hired musicians who had actual grit. He used them as camouflage. If he stood next to a guy who looked like he'd been in a bar fight, maybe people would assume Bob had been in one too. So he released the Polyfuse method, an early morning stone pimp. The music had changed. It wasn't just rap anymore. He mixed in some metal guitars and country samples. He was, very cleverly I might add, engineering a product. He was building a bridge between the hip-hop fans and the metalheads using white trash as the glue. But he needed money to keep it going. The label money was gone. And to really get a push out there, you need some serious label money behind it. Dad's money just won't do. And this is where it gets murky, the way Bob likes it. He tells stories about selling tapes out of his trunk, stories about hustling. And sure, he sold tapes, but he wasn't starving. He had the best equipment. He had a car that actually worked, had a roof over his head that wasn't leaking. And there's a story from the mid-90s that perfectly encapsulates the lie. Kid Rock was trying to get a buzz going. He wanted to film a video, and he wanted it to look authentic. He was going for the entire trailer park aesthetic life that he was rapping about. But he didn't go to a trailer park. He bought a double wide trailer, and he had it moved. Did he have it moved to a trailer park? No. He had it moved to a vacant lot in Detroit. Moved onto his own.
He bought a double wide, then had it moved to a vacant lot so he could film in a trailer park.
Own property, set up in a field that he had access to, and it was a prop. It was a movie set. He would film his interviews and his videos in front of this beat-up metal box, acting like he woke up there every single day. He'd sit on the steps of this trailer holding a bottle of Jim Beam, wearing a stained t-shirt, tell reporters about the struggle. They talk about being an outcast, talk about the pimp lifestyle, and then when the cameras turned off, he'd walk back to take a shower in a bathroom with heated floors,
Desolate.
eat a meal prepared in the kitchen that cost more than the trailer he was using as a backdrop, and the media ate it up. They wanted a white rapper who was not Vanilla Ice. They wanted somebody dangerous. They didn't fact check the zip code. They didn't look at the property tax records of William Ritchie. They saw the hat, saw the cigar, and they printed the legend. And by the time Devil Without a Cause hit in 1998, the transformation was complete. He was Bull God. He was the voice of the disaffected white youth. He was screaming ongoing platinum. So he hit the road, toured relentlessly, and he played the part perfectly. There's a moment backstage at a festival in 1999. Kid Rock was at the height of his powers, wearing the white fur coat, had the cigar, had the strippers, holding court, talking loud, acting like the king of sleaze. And a journalist was there, trying to get an interview. So the journalist asked him about Detroit, asked him about the hard times. Kid Rock leaned in, smoke curling from his mouth, starts talking about the hustle, started talking about how he had to scrap for everything that he got. He was painting a picture of Oliver Twist in a strip club. And just then, somebody from his camp walked up. They were holding a phone. It's your dad, the guy said. And for a split second there, the mask slipped. You could see the Romeo kid flash across his face. He took the phone. His voice changed. It wasn't the gravelly stone pimp voice anymore. It was respectful. Hi, Dad. It was quieter. Hey, Dad. Yeah, no, it's going good. The numbers are good. Yeah, the dealership numbers? That's great. Okay, well, tell Mom I said hey. He hung up the phone, looked at the journalist, took a drag of that cigar, put the mask right back on, tried to get the swagger back, but the air had changed. The smell of the Lincoln Mercury dealership was definitely stinking up that room. And the journalist wrote it down, but the narrative was way too strong. Fans didn't want to know about Dad. They didn't want to know about the tennis court. They wanted the bull god, so they ignored it. But the cracks kept appearing. So he starts dating Pamela Anderson, the ultimate white trash power couple. They're the king and queen of the trailer park prom. But when they got married, they didn't do it at a Waffle House. They did it on a yacht, finished it at a resort. He bought a house in Malibu, not a shack, pretty sweet mansion. Bought a place in Nashville, sprawling estate. Started playing golf, not mini golf, real golf with professionals.
Oh, by the way, his tour is called The Road to Nashville, which is what I said earlier. He's trying to reintroduce himself under his real name as a country singer. That's why he rolled out. First of all, he had to pander to the Bible thumpers, right? So he added that verse onto that song about dusting off the Bible. They introduced him as Robert Ritchie, which is his real name. His new tour is called The Road to Nashville. He's trying to relaunch a career as straight country, 100%.
Started hanging out with presidents, and the persona became harder to maintain the richer he got.
And the song that he's saying isn't even his. It's a cover of a song someone else did.
It's hard to rap about being a broke pimp when you're flying private. There was an incident at a Waffle House in Atlanta, and this was supposed to be his element, his church, if you will. He got into a fight, threw punches, chairs were thrown. It was chaos. Exactly what Kid Rock was supposed to do. But immediately after, he didn't get thrown in the drunk tank and leave it at that. Didn't have the court-appointed lawyer. A fleet of high-priced attorneys descended on the situation. PR firms were activated. Spin doctors went to work. The outlaw didn't handle it like an outlaw. He handled it like a CEO protecting an asset. He handled it like William Ritchie would have handled a lawsuit at the dealership. He paid the fines, settled the suits, did the community service.
Till You Can't, I think's the name of it, but it was already recorded a couple years ago by somebody named Cody something. I think something like that. I don't even think Cody Johnson, maybe. I don't think he wrote it either. He just picked it up.
Back to the mansion. Started launching his own beer. Started branding everything. He wasn't a musician anymore. At this point, he became a lifestyle brand, selling the redneck aesthetic.
All right, we're done with that. That's enough. That's enough. Kid Rock was lip syncing 100%. You guys seen this yet? What we got here? An old lost footage?
My name is Juliet. I have a question. My question is, how many jets do you have and
how many jets do you have and how do I apply
how would I apply
to be a flight attendant? I wonder who he's talking to. Chris Gaines. What? I recognize that voice. Oh, no. How many jets do you have, and how do I become a flight attendant? Surely he's going to be respectful and polite to this young lady, right?
I think she's hired. Yeah, hired. Now, I had a case. It was very interesting. A beautiful girl who was 17 or 18 applied to be a waitress. She's so beautiful. She's like a world-class beauty, like the young lady who just asked the question about the actress. She's so beautiful.
My mom and dad really liked, and it's not a bad song. I wish he would have performed it, maybe. What's the one he does with Sheryl Crow? I Put Your Picture Away. My mom and dad like that song. It's like they're together, they break up, they get back together or something.
Just asked the question about the actress. She's so beautiful. And my people came, she said, well, Mr. Trump, she has no experience.
All right, so a woman wants a job. He thinks that she's amazingly beautiful like a model, but she has no experience. So I interviewed her anyway.
So I interviewed her anyway, because she was so pretty.
Because she was so pretty.
Let me ask you, do you have any experience? She goes, no, sir. I said, when can you start?
So he interviews her and asks her one question. He looks at her and says, hey, she's beautiful. Do you have any experience? She says, no. And he says, when can you start? Now, this next part's going to get interesting. He forces this weird kiss on her, right?
You can work on my plane anytime.
You can work on my plane anytime. Now, pay attention. I'm going to stop pausing it. You can work on my plane anytime. Pay attention to what he says next. He can't help himself.
See, now, she worked in my plane. That's like a death wish for me, right? That's like an alcoholic. I have many friends. They're wonderful people. They're alcoholics. You put scotch in front of them. It's like, this would be my form of alcoholism. Okay, yes, ma'am.
He said, if she worked on my plane, that would be a death wish for me. It's like I have friends who are alcoholics. They're great people, but they're alcoholics. If you put scotch in front of them, and then he does this like shaking thing, like they can't resist it. And he says, she would be my form of alcoholism. God damn, he's disgusting, dude. Such a fucking piece of shit. I want to shoot this fish. I want to catch a buck. Picking up my mom from the hospital now. She's getting out today. Based. That's Suko. That's based. Super bass. Oh, you guys want to hear a real musician? A real musician that's giving an honest critique of Bad Bunny? A real musician? A bona fide musician? Giving an honest critique, no politics involved, of Mr. Badulum Bunnyford. I don't know if that's his real name.
Went into the Bad Bunny halftime show with an open mind. I'm a musician. Thank you, Charlie. I don't think this guy has any talent. You gave us your all. Now, I say that, and I mean it technically speaking. To make sure we don't fall. If you don't know it, I'm a musician. Sunshine on the apple. I've been for just about all my life. a lot of instruments and was very successful at it. Sing a little bit too. The guy doesn't have any talent. Even rapping, the beat wasn't really there for the rap. But you tell me if you think it's appropriate that the halftime show is almost exclusively in a foreign language. You're a bad banana with a greasy black peel. Went into the Bad Bunny halftime show with an open mind. I'm a musician.
That was all him singing, including the song with 900 views called Thank You, Charlie, my tribute song to Charlie Kirk.
I don't think this guy has any talent. Now, I say that, and I mean it technically speaking. If you don't know it, I'm a musician. I've been for just about all my life. A lot of instruments and was very successful at it. Sing a little bit too.
Tuesday Morning is literally a song about 9/11.
The guy doesn't have any talent.
Thank you, Charlie. You gave us your all to make sure we don't fall. No issue was too tall. Thank you, Charlie.
It sounds like a kid just writing words that rhyme. No issue was too tall. Nobody will ever fall. If I had your number, I'd call.
You brought us all in, didn't change with the wind. Just wanted our land to win. When the heat turned up, you kept your cool. Never said no, no matter the school. You took them all on, even cross the pond. Strong foundation you stood on. A gift from God, we learned from you. How to use our gifts and tools. You use your words and turn a phrase to make some sense in troubled days. Thank you, Charlie.
It's bad. It's bad. It's bad, folks. It's bad. Somebody said Bort's back. That's not true. Oh my God. There does seem to be some stuff missing, no? Come on, Bort. What we got for us? I can't watch all this. They made him pawn his contact lenses?
All right. Well, hello, everybody. I think. I'm not sure if I'm live or not. No headphones tonight.
Had to pawn his headphones.
I'm going to have to rely on you guys to tell me if you can hear me. Because, and there goes the color. I guess maybe I could try it this way. You guys do me a favor and let me know if you can hear me. I'm going to double check something here. See it here. Okay. You're live so far. Okay, thank you. I know the color's not good. And it's better if I do this.
What did Bug Dude call the Russians? The Slavalachans? Slavalachans.
Yes, I think. Maybe it's not better. I don't know. This. I just hope it's not going to freeze up.
Do you guys hear that? Beep, beep, beep. Beep, 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 beep. You guys hear that, right?
I'd be better if I leave it like that. So I cannot hear myself because I don't have my headphones on. I'll get into all of that with you guys. I can hear you. If the volume is good, I'll leave it just like it is.
Sounds like a repeater station.
Lance, have a nice tan. What can I do to add a little light? Let me see. I don't know if this will work or not. No, it won't. See, if I turn the bright lights on, I'm using a really cheap camera, guys. And I'm using a
Do it.
So if I turn this on, it's going to be oversaturated. And I spent...
Oh, did he pawn his camera? He pawned his camera too?
Trying to get ready to come on for you guys. And suddenly, none of the settings...
He says, I've got a really cheap camera, and he always bragged about how expensive his camera was, remember?
Are working anymore.
I can't believe he pawned all his gear, and the audio's still worse.
And so, as a result of that, let me see. Nope.
I call bullshit. He made it bad on purpose,
So
maybe.
all I can hope for is... So, do you like it like that, or do you like it darker, where I'm not yellow? You guys tell me.
The term is jaundice.
I'm not going to be able to play it anymore tonight, folks. I'm not going to be able to do that.
if it looks better in the dark, I'll turn the lights back out. So, that's dimmer lights. I don't know if you're getting a buzz. I don't know if you're. I don't know. I hate not being in control. The land's saying I'm okay. So do the best I can tonight. You know, it's really weird not being able to hear myself like this because I'm used to hearing my own voice, but we'll just do it this way. If you can tell, this is not the right video camera. It's not the correct microphone. This is my old rig that I used to use in my office when my studio was under construction, which is exactly what's going on. So somebody said you look tan. It's not that I've been out in the sun. I promise you that. It's just that I'm using a really, really cheap camera. If I turn that off completely, I think it will probably look better. I'm afraid that it's going to start. I'm afraid it's going to start skipping and breaking up because
Is he already packing shit because he knows he's going to get evicted?
I'm not on the right computer. I did not go to the beach, you guys. I did not go to the beach. I've not been anywhere. It's a bad camera. I don't know if you can tell, but it's the wrong camera. Let me see what I can do to add a little bit more light.
There you go. Spotlight right on your face. Hell yeah.
I don't know if that's going to help or not.
You know what a key light is? Or a fill light? Didn't you claim you did shit on stage? Holy shit.
Yeah, that doesn't really help. That doesn't add too much to it, does it at all? It's just the problem is this the sound is good, so I'm glad to hear that. So Robert says we know we're trying to make you feel better. I suppose if I go up there and just unplug two of those lights, let me do that. Let me see if that makes a difference. I'll be right back.
I would.
Hey, Shadow.
Less jaundicey?
I'm not sure that it made any difference at all. That light didn't go out. Hang on, let me try that again. We'll just have to live with whatever it is I've got going on there. We'll try one more thing. That's probably going to buzz like crazy in the game.
Everything's buzzing. It's so bad, dude.
Anyway, so here we are. I'm not going to be able to do the type of show that I wanted to do for you guys tonight because...
This is your big return, bro?
I had a financial crisis. And as you can see, I am still in my studio. And my back is still injured, but it's better. And I think we're going to go with that way.
Yes. He looks like Max Headroom. This is Bort breaking in, pirating the airwaves.
Produced in the history of television. And there's more, because you are going to see it as well.
Yes.
Oh. Thanks for hanging out, Grassroots.
That's better. I guess we're going to stay with just that light right there. This is all we're getting is a light from the monitor. And I don't have all the monitors on because I've only got one computer working right now. So we're going to live with this. Come on over here. Now, I'm going to hope that we don't start breaking up. That's my hope. And I'm going to do my best to talk to you guys about everything that's going on.
We're already breaking up. We're out of focus. Oh, shit.
With you guys,
we're out of focus, Bort. Okay, it's back.
Hateful people that are... Now, see that now it's going out of focus. Let's see if I can get to focus. Maybe that's better. I'm being bombarded by hateful people that are just enjoying the daylights out of the fact that I'm not doing very well right now.
We're not enjoying it. We found a public document that said they had started eviction against you, and you're like, no, it's not true. Don't believe the haters. I'm still here. I'm doing well. Oh, by the way, I'm never coming back unless you guys donate.
And so enjoy yourselves, but you're not going to knock me down. You're not going to keep me down. I might be down, but I'm not going to stay down.
Okay.
It's just a rough time right now. I've reached out to many of you privately and asked you for some help. And
He's reached out to many of you privately. He sent messages. Could you imagine if you show up to my stream, I search for you, find you, send you a private message? How do you not think that's a scammer? Or the most fucked up thing that's someone's ever done for someone watching their stream? I send you private messages. I'm like, hey, really bad time. Is there any way you could send me $100? You can picture me digging at my neck. Got any more of them $100?
I understand that you can't. And I'm kind of shocked and amazed by...
Yes. Get to the street, Bart. There's so many things going on and people around you and interesting stories and street performers and holy fuck. If I was in Vegas, I probably wouldn't be in a studio.
That's right. Give me one more second.
I've told him this 100 times, Bort.
The camera, and I'm seeing, at least now you guys can see a little bit better. That's better.
Bort lunch, everybody.
And I'm going to turn this up just for a second. No, I won't be able to hear it. Oh, that's probably because I had it muted here. I do. And I'm going to turn this up just for a second. Oh, okay, the volume is great. All right, good. Well, I'm glad to see that. Actually, the microphone is impressively good compared to what I was expecting it to sound like. Okay, so here's the deal, folks. I had to put my gear in the pawn shop just to avoid eviction. I have not paid the fine, but I paid enough that they aren't going to throw me out. I'm having to do.
Wait, I thought none of that was true. I thought none of that was true. Now you're saying you had to pawn everything to pay enough rent to not get thrown out, but not the full rent?
Whatever I have to do. And I can't. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. The podcast is not making any money, and it's mostly because we're not getting any viewership. We're getting.
Yeah, because you need a real job. You're not a podcaster. It's not working. Bro, just get a job and pawn all your shit. Sell your shit.
It's Rumble. I was like a type of viewership.
Ninja. Oh, shit. If you so choose, I'd like you to be on 15th wrench because the cyan blue brings out the green in my eyes. And yes, this is just straight up right. Sure, you want a wrench? Fuck it. I'll get over there. Hold on.
I know what I have to do in order to build a bigger following. I just don't have the funds to do it. I need to hire somebody that can help me with the social media side of this. Cambridge says someone is detained in the Guthrie case. Well, I think the Guthrie case is a big giant.
All done. There you go, brother. Thank you for the donation, Grassroots.
Hi, about a missing woman in Arizona. Okay, so she's on TV with her daughter once in a while. Whatever. This has been a big distraction. All the
It's been a big distraction from all the kids that Trump fucked at Epstein Island. I can already see your eyes, to be honest with you. It did make them pop. He sent me a text. My internet is about to be shut off. Hell, I didn't have internet. Yeah, that sounds about right.
All the stuff is being introduced, and all anybody talk about is Nancy Guthrie. Epstein's files have been released, and they're finding out so much that it's like drinking from a fire hose. And the two big distractions all week long have been this idiot at the Super Bowl halftime and this missing lady. Now, I'm going to tell you right now, I think it is a big, giant smokescreen. And if we just wait and watch, I think we're going to see this was an inside job. A friend of mine pointed out on Facebook today that
I think Bort was one of the. So I saw a sugarcane clump person that was a little bit wider and a little bit more depressed than the other sugarcane clump people on the field at the halftime show. Bort's been picking up gig work. I think he was a sugarcane clump. That's where he's been. He lied to you guys. He had a gig job. He didn't want to admit that he was at Baddington Bunnington's son concert.
He went and checked, and Nancy.
5 6-packs, and on our Bort's return. Thank you very much. It is a glorious day, right? Thank you very much for the donation. This is Dillingham. Appreciate it.
Took out a $10 million life insurance policy on herself 2 days before she went missing. That's what I heard.
Okay, that's a right-wing meme, but okay.
Reported it. I consider him to be a good source. So
Who?
2 days before she went missing. That's what I heard. And the guy that reported it, I consider him to be a good source.
Oh, just the guy that reported it. We can't have his name. It says, in honor of Bort's return, Bort, if you're listening, grab the cell phone and go do some street streams. That's exactly right. Dude, he's so dumb. He coops himself up in the studio and thinks people are going to come to him for interviews with his 6 audience members. It is. He pawned his SM7B. This is the mic that he used to have. That's not it. We have the same microphone. Thank you very much, Dillingham. And yes, he should be on the streets doing streams.
So, what was this distraction about? Well,
just go around asking bitches thumb in or thumb out. See what they say. You could be a bad little Bort instead of Bad Bunny.
I think they're frustrated that they can't find anything that Trump has done that they can hold against him, because all the reports are, he's in the reports.
It's funny because he has been divorced multiple times. I don't know if it's 3, but you called it, Grassroots. 100%.
Legend of Pretzelda just resubscribed for 40 months. Suck it, Bort.
Suck it, Bort. Thank you very much. He claims that his wife was cheating on him and stole his son from him, and she got with a police officer. Then all the police started harassing him. Then they tried to take over his bar that was very successful, and he only had good things from the bar, and it never was bad. He was getting a reality TV show about his bar. Like, everything's always someone else's fault.
30,000 times, and every time they're saying Trump's got to do anything. And there's a bunch of crazy people that are going to. I think they're frustrated. So, 2 days before she went missing. That's what I heard. And the guy that reported it, I consider him to be a good source. So, what was this distraction about? Well, I think they're frustrated that they can't find anything that Trump has done that they can hold against him, because all the reports are, he's in the reports 30,000 times, and every time they're saying.
I have not seen anybody report that. I've not seen anybody report. Bert trusts the guy who reported it. I've not seen anybody report that she got a life insurance policy 2 days before she went missing.
And Trump's got to do anything. And there's a bunch of crazy people that are going to still try and twist it and turn it. Ron wants to know, did you see the video of the person at the door? Sure. But how do I not know that was somebody in the family creating a big dramatic thing? We don't know who that was at the door. It was just somebody all dressed up. I'm looking at it right now over here on Facebook. He's all dressed up in a...
Most policies, if you don't know, most policies have to be valid and maintained and current for 2 years before they'll pay out for like a missing person that just disappeared.
And a hoodie and a backpack and supposedly has a gun. Okay. Well, you know, I hope the lady's okay. I do. But
and then I think there's like a 7-year waiting period after you're declared all that shit, right?
I'm looking at this and I'm just not trusting what I'm seeing. And as far as this Bad Bunny situation, I watched it and I went and watched the alternative afterwards. Bad Bunny, CBS, the NFL should all be fined by the FCC in the tunes of millions of dollars.
Bortz! Did you see him gyrating, buddy?
To the tune of millions per. If you listen to the lyrics that he was singing, because none of us speak Spanish, it was vulgar. The kind of vulgarity you're not allowed to say.
It wasn't actually. In fact, he does have some vulgar songs. He self-censored himself during the halftime show. The same way that Kendrick Lamar self-censored himself.
On television. And if you say those type of vulgar things on television, the FCC will yank your license. They will hit you with fines. They'll make it where you can't do another live broadcast for years. There's all kinds of punishment they can do. I think Roger Goodell has...
You guys remember Kendrick Lamar didn't say certain things, even in his most fucking famous song, right? Because he self-censored himself because he's on national television at the halftime show. Bad Bunny did the same thing.
Trying to destroy the NFL. It was one of the worst games I've ever watched. First of all, one of the worst games I've ever watched. How boring was it? And the halftime show was a joke. And there's people that are out there saying it was a great halftime show. Because these women are out there grinding on each other and men grinding on men and the vulgarity that was coming out of it made even me blush. And you guys know when I get mad, I drop the F word, but I don't talk like that. I don't talk that. I'm not even going to read the lyrics. If you haven't gone and checked it out.
Well, you're reading the lyrics to his actual songs. The same way that it doesn't matter if it's cut out, you stupid motherfucker. If he just doesn't say that word that's typically in his lyrics, what the fuck does it matter? The cherry-picked lyrics that they're arguing should be fined appear in the screenshot from the website Genius were not actually sung by Bad Bunny during the Super Bowl, with the Puerto Rican artist self-censoring explicit words and phrases that appeared in that and other songs during the 15-minute performance. They're just taking a screenshot of his actual lyrics. You know how, like, rappers fucking say all kinds of shit? Well, when they perform at the Super Bowl, they just don't say those words. It's like the radio version, right? They do the radio version when they perform at the Super Bowl. That's what Bad Bunny did. Just because you read the lyric, like, get the fuck out of here, dude.
Glenn Beck did the best read on it because he cleaned it up and he just replaced all the bad words with the first letter of the word. There was a lot of...
Neither NBC or Telemundo, which had the rights to Super Bowl LX, aired any profane or explicit lyrics in the performance through the use of backing tracks and dubbing, either raising questions about why that fine the person took issue with the broadcast. Nonetheless, his social media post Tuesday, Fine wrote that he would be sending letters to the FCC seeking dramatic action against the NFL, NBC, and Bad Bunny, including fines and broadcast licensing reviews. The FCC lacks authority to regulate content produced by the NFL and can't issue fines or other enforcement action against the sports league or any performer associated with a football game. It also doesn't have the authority to police content aired by NBC as a broadcast network, but can take enforcement against NBC-owned television stations that hold federally issued broadcast license. NBC Universal owns around 12 NBC stations in major markets like New York City, Los Angeles, Chicago, Philadelphia, Dallas-Fort Worth, San Francisco Bay, and San Diego, and another 36 Telemundo stations. Like, they don't... I'm telling you, we've reduced most of the people on the right. Their sources are memes and screenshots and AI videos. Kendrick Lamar's Super Bowl halftime show featured extensive, self-imposed, and network-enforced censorship of his lyrics to meet FCC family-friendly standards despite muting, including on his Drake diss track. The crowd audibly filled in the censored lyrics to Not Like Us. Fox aired the performance with bleeps, addressing concerns about profanity from the audience. Fox aired it with a bleep because the audience said the part so loud. Even when Kendrick censored himself. Lamar performed but heavily sanitized his Drake diss track. Specifically, lines calling Drake a certified pedophile were muted by the broadcast, though the crowd shouted along to this and the A minor reference. Every performer does this. Like, they're so fucking dumb. They're looking at a screenshot of his lyrics and saying, he said that, and I don't speak Spanish, so I believe it.
C words. There was a lot of D words. There was a lot of F words. There was a lot of SUCK, this, that, and the other thing words. And the FCC needs to find a bunch of people. Roger Goodell ought to be ashamed of himself.
Ashamed.
That's how I feel about it. I apologize for the look of this camera.
These idiots don't know that the words weren't said.
I got it better this way with the lights off than I had it for an hour trying to work with it, because this is a really cheap, very old camera. Rula said she didn't like Turning Point halftime either, but it wasn't vulgar. Listen, the Turning Point halftime show, it's really hard to do a 30-minute show live and accomplish anything with it. Your average song is over 3 minutes long.
And it wasn't live.
You can't do 10 songs and do 30 minutes because you're going to have to cut it to 5 songs and some dialogue. Kid Rock came out performing as Kid Rock with one of his very vulgar songs that he used to do back in the day, and then he transitioned into a soft bridge of cellos and violins, and then came back out and did a song to show that he went from being vulgar to having a revelation and becoming a Christian. That was what he was trying to do. And
okay.
Didn't notice
Perfect.
They introduced him in the beginning as Kid Rock, and then they introduced him as himself with his name. I don't know what his real name was, but you guys, somebody might have it in there. So it did start vulgar, and people started making fun of Kid Rock for lip syncing the first part. He was lip syncing the first part to track.
Ears ringing. This means you're losing your memories every month. So if you're suffering from tinnitus, I'm going to tell you.
No, he wasn't lip syncing, Bort.
Because he was just trying to show the way things used to be. When he went back out with his acoustic guitar, he was live.
Oh, so he really didn't sing the first song because he's a born-again Christian now. Well, he's arguing the exact opposite on Twitter.
Hey, little buddy. Shadows up on his favorite little spot. He just got up there. He's been walking around here all over top.
God damn, Bort's retarded.
All day while I've been trying to set this up. I had to reconfigure everything we got in front of us here to get something up for you guys. Yeah, it was Bobby Roberts. Was that right? I might be wrong about that, Kimber. But anyway, I just wish he would record Race Up Old Glory. just.
You think Kid Rock's name is Bobby Roberts? You think Kid Rock's real name is Robert Roberts?
To track, because he was just making fun of Kid Rock for lip syncing. And if you didn't notice this, they introduced him in the beginning as Kid Rock, and then they introduced him as himself with his name. I don't know what his real name was, but you guys, somebody might have it in there. So it did start vulgar, and people started
Bort thinks his name is Robert Roberts.
Making fun of Kid Rock for lip syncing the first part. He was lip syncing the first part to track because he was just trying to show the way things used to be. When he went back out with his acoustic guitar, he was live. Hey, little buddy. Shadows up on his favorite little spot. He just got up there. He's been walking around here all over top of the gear all day while I've been trying to set this up. I had to reconfigure everything we got in front of us here to get something up for you guys. Yeah, it was Bobby Roberts. Was that right? I might be wrong about that, Kimber.
Yeah, you got it. Bobby Roberts.
But anyway, I just wish he would record Race Up Old Glory. just record Race Up Old Glory, Kid Rock, and then we're good. We'll be good. I've got another song I wrote that you guys have never heard. That if he did record Race Up Old Glory, he'd record the other one too.
I'm excited about it. I'm excited about never hearing it.
That's what it is. I can't show you guys any videos. I don't have the rig. My equipment is in a pawn shop. So
he doesn't know how to play videos on the screen. He's using OBS, by the way. He doesn't know how to put a video on the screen. You could literally just pull it up and drag it over.
Can't show you my website, although it's up and running. At least it was when I started tonight. If you guys want to help out with a donation, and I really do desperately need your help, you can still Zelle and you can still PayPal. I have been chopping away at my phone bill because it kept getting cut off because I owed them so much money. And I've chopped away at it to the point where now it's actually manageable. But it's also due.
But you didn't pay your rent. Chopping away, paying the phone bill, but I didn't pay my rent.
But it's not $300 anymore. It's under $70, believe it or not. Which I really, this is taking forever to knock down these bills because, it's just I'm not where I need to be right now. So if you can help out with a donation tonight, please do. Bert at bertlynch.com is all you need on Zelle or PayPal. I can't show you, but the website is up and running if you want to go.
My kids are starving to death. It's been cold here recently, so I've built them mud igloos because it's been raining every day for the past year and a half. The phone's cut off, internet's cut off, heat's cut off. We don't have no food in the house. We've been catching stray rabbits. Now it's getting tougher because it's winter. So if you guys can just help out with that, I refuse to get a job, and instead, I'm going to stream to 6 people.
Go check out the store. Then the store is available too. I'm actually surprised that I've got this good of a picture based on how I threw this together. I mean, I've been working on this since 2 o'clock. And
God damn.
Then when I tried to do a test, it wouldn't let me do the test. Then it let me, OBS let me kind of make some changes to the camera through the configuration mode. And then whenever I couldn't go live. It wouldn't go live for me. And so I had to shut it all down, restart the computer. And I'm not using Rumble. I'm not using the Go Live button on Rumble. I'm using the Rumble Studio. And it's configured differently than a regular one. And it's supposed to be better. I don't know. It's supposed to be. Anyway, I figured it out, but it's why I was late. So it took me an extra 20 minutes to turn on to get everything running. So I'm kind of going to use Facebook as a way to remind me of what I want to talk to you guys about, because there's so much stuff that's going on. This is crazy.
We're not going to get any videos. We're not going to get nothing. It's just going to be him reading shit.
Seeing this for the first time. And I've got a story that relates to this. David Harris is reporting that Kurt Cobain's death is now being considered a homicide. As shocking new private forensic findings question the suicide ruling per Daily Mail. Thank you, Robert, for posting that. I have to tell you, I have a very, very good friend of mine who actually owns Kurt Cobain's first ever guitar. Kurt Cobain, before he was famous, sold it to my friend. And my friend has sent it off to a particular place that authenticates this stuff. And it is his. And it's worth millions. So my friend eventually is going to get a huge payday on that. And now they're saying that his death is being considered a homicide. That's going to change. That's going to bring it all back to my buddy's just probably double the value of that guitar that he
So a guy who's a forensic specialist and internet famous and whatever, a private investigator, Brian Burnett, is demanding the Seattle police reopen the case and claiming that evidence suggests murder, not suicide, and a forged note. Say they overdosed him on heroin, someone shot him, forged a note. The official authorities, though, are like, case closed. So
he bought it from Cobain and put it away in his house, and he didn't play it. And he actually told me about 6 months ago, he said, Bert, I knew you needed a guitar, and I literally was thinking about bringing it over to you and say, look, this is an old guitar I bought from a guy. He didn't know it was Kurt Cobain, by the way, when he bought it, because Kurt was not going by that name.
Oh my God.
But he bought it from the lead singer of Kurt Cobain's original band. An original band.
I don't believe you. Kurt Cobain, as far as I know, always performed under the name Kurt Cobain. He had different band names, right? Before Nirvana, there was one called, I want to say it was called Fecal Matter. Skid Row. There were like a bunch of different band names that they played around with before they picked Nirvana. But Kurt Cobain was always Kurt. What do you mean he wasn't going by that name?
Had a really vile name. It was something like, I don't know now, so I forget now.
Fecal Matter.
I think. But anyway,
yes, Fecal Matter was a band name.
He said, I almost brought it over to you. And he goes, and then when I pulled it out to show it to a friend of mine who's a collector and told him where I got it, he goes, you don't realize that you bought a guitar from Kurt Cobain, you dummy? So they've spent the last several months authenticating that thing. So I'm just seeing it right now that it's been considered not suicide all of a sudden. Wow. Okay. So I haven't been on for 10 days. And so there's all kinds of crazy stuff, but it's all distractions. The video that the president uploaded, which he didn't actually do it, a staffer did, showing the Obamas as apes, showing him as a lion, showing every politician out there as an animal. All of a sudden, there's a reason why the Democrats...
No, just showing the Obamas as apes. Now, the full video shows all those other things, but Trump just had the clip of Obamas as apes.
And the media are throwing a fit over all of this unnecessary stuff. And that's because the Epstein files are not delivering what they wanted it to deliver, which was a death sentence to Donald Trump. What it
Donald Trump's all over the Epstein files, bro.
has delivered is a death sentence to almost everybody else.
Oh, okay.
And I'm even reading where
Nailed it.
Pam Bondi said if we arrest everybody, it would collapse the system.
All right, I'm going to leave this here because I want to go over it. Yeah, check this out. You guys remember the disabled woman that ICE just told her to go, told her to leave? They were all yelling different things, and the passenger guy busts out her fucking window? Well, she has a TBI. She has a traumatic brain injury. If you have a traumatic brain injury, I do as well. If you have a traumatic brain injury, a lot of people with that, they have trouble processing, especially when multiple inputs are coming in, right? And deciding which is the valid input, what am I actually hearing, and what should my body fucking do? Not everybody, but a lot of people with TBIs have that problem. Here she is, her testimony.
On January 13th, on the way to my 39th appointment at Hennepin County's Traumatic Brain Injury Center, I encountered a traffic jam caused by ICE vehicles and no signs indicating how to get around it. I had not wanted to pull into a blocked, chaotic intersection, but verbally agreed to do so and rolled down my window after an agent yelled, "Move! I will break your effing window!" His first instruction. Agents on all sides of my vehicle yelled conflicting threats and instructions that I could not process while watching for pedestrians. Then the glass of the passenger side window flew across my face. I yelled, "I'm disabled," at the hands grabbing at me, and an agent said, "Too late." An agent pulled a large combat knife in front of my face.
I sincerely don't think that she was trying to involve herself in anything.
Which I thought was for cutting me, and later learned was used to cut off my seatbelt. Shooting pain went through my head, neck, and wrists when I hit the ground face first, and people...
By the way, he does pull out a big fucking Bowie knife. Did you guys see that in the clip? Hold on.
Then the glass of the passenger side window flew across my face.
The agent coming around the front pulls out a giant-ass fucking knife to cut her seatbelt.
"I'm disabled," at the hands grabbing at me, and an agent said...
They've got her tied up in the seatbelt, basically.
Late.
Even though she's unbuckled, it's like wrapped around her.
An agent pulled a large combat knife in front of my face, which I thought was for cutting me, and later...
Look, this guy right here, out of nowhere, look at this.
Was used...
Look at this fucking knife he pulls out to cut the seatbelt.
To cut off my seatbelt.
It's fucking huge. Look at that. I don't know if you guys can see it. It's fucking huge. All right, here's the handle, right? The knife goes all the way to here. And this one's got one too. Like, they all got fucking knives out.
Shooting pain went through my head, neck, and wrists when I hit the ground face first, and people leaned on my back. I was carried face down through the street by my cuffed arms and legs while yelling that I had a brain injury and was disabled. I now cannot lift my arms normally. I was never asked for ID.
To the TBI clinic, yeah.
Never told I was under arrest. Never read my rights. And never charged with a crime. I pleaded for emergency medical care for over an hour after my vision had become blurry, my heart rate went through the roof, and the pain in my neck and head became unbearable. It was denied. When I became unable to speak, my cellmate pleaded for me. The last sounds I remember before I blacked out on the cell floor were my cellmate banging on the door, pleading for a medic, and a voice outside saying, "We don't want to step on ICE's toes." When I opened my eyes at Hennepin County's emergency room, I learned I was brought there to be treated for assault. But I do not deserve more humane treatment than anyone else, U.S. citizen or not. And I am here today with a strong spirit and a duty to the many people who haven't had the privilege to tell their stories or see their loved ones come home. On January 13th, on the way to my 39th...
It's pretty fucked up, dude. I mean, I'm glad they're rolling back, but goddamn. That's a pretty fucked up story. We still got to go over Bort, that's for sure. We will be doing Bort. That was the mom detained. I think that's it for tonight, guys. Oh, I guess we got this. This is the last one, then we'll go. Remember, I talked about Massey and Ro Khanna getting... talking to the Department of Justice and getting these redactions lifted on the co-conspirators. Here's the story about that.
Congressman Massey and I went to the Department of Justice to read the unredacted Epstein files. We spent about 2 hours there, and we learned that 70 to 80% of the files are still redacted.
70 to 80% of the files are still redacted.
In fact, there were 6 wealthy, powerful men that the DOJ hid for no apparent reason. When Congressman Massey and I pointed this out to the Department of Justice, they acknowledged their mistake, and now they have revealed the identity of these 6 powerful men. These men are Salvatore Navora, Zorab Mikaladze, Leopig Leonor, Nicola Caputa, Sultan Ahmed bin Sulayem, CEO of Dubai Ports World, and billionaire businessman Leslie Wexner, who was labeled as a co-conspirator by the FBI. Now, my question is, why did it take Thomas Massie and me going to the Justice Department to get these 6 men's identities to become public? And if we found 6 men that they were hiding in 2 hours, imagine how many men they are covering up for in those 3 million files. But the story gets worse. The reality is that Donald Trump's FBI scrubbed these files in March, long before Thomas Massie and I passed the Epstein Transparency Act. Now, my bill is clear. The Epstein Transparency Act requires them to unredact those FBI files. And yet the Justice Department said to me and to Congressman Massie, we just uploaded whatever the FBI sent us. And guess what? The FBI sent scrubbed files. That means the survivor's statement to the FBI.
Yes, they come pre-redacted from the FBI. DOJ didn't look into them at all and just put them back out. Same way. And they did this months before, like almost a year before they released them, and months before the law came out.
Naming rich and powerful men who went to Epstein's island, who went to his ranch, who went to his home and raped. And
so for the last 3 months or whatever, and they've been behind and they've been late. They haven't been doing shit.
Used underage girls or saw underage girls being paraded. They're all hidden. They're all redacted. It's a little bit of a farce. They're inviting all the members of Congress to go to see the Department of Justice, quote unquote, unredacted files, but they've got all redacted files from the FBI.
They can't even see the unredacted files. They're pre-redacted.
And it's not the fault of the Justice Department attorneys. They were just told upload things that Donald Trump's FBI had already scrubbed. It's a blatant violation of the Epstein Transparency Act, but it also asks a fundamental question. Who are they protecting? Why are they protecting these?
Do heart rate monitors, like on a smartwatch, do they not work through tattoos?
Rich and powerful men, people I call part of the Epstein class. Why are we in a country where there is no elite accountability for people who do the most heinous things?
Exactly.
Yesterday, Congressman Massie.
Exactly. In 2 hours, they found this almost immediately. When asked the DOJ, they're like, oh, we just uploaded what the FBI sent to us. We didn't do anything. I don't know. Shit's wild. Hopefully we get more to the bottom of it. And another 3 million files that they claim they have that they're not releasing and don't plan on releasing. They're done. The last thing I'll leave you with is, for some reason, Austin, if you don't know Austin is the caretaker of one of our mods, Legend. He sent me a picture and said that Austin, everybody said that Legend, please pray for Legend, okay? Apparently she had a mishap and hurt her finger. So it's swollen up pretty bad. You guys keep her thoughts and prayers, right? Her finger's swollen up a little bit. So we want to keep her in our thoughts and prayers. And that is it for tonight. If you want to support the show, do that. The link provided down below, just quick tools. Leave a donation, leave a message so I can thank you. I would greatly appreciate that. Yes, all those things are true. I am sensitive to light and craving a drink of blood. I thought that was part of being a smartwatch guy. Thank you guys for joining us. Thank you for being here. Support the show if you want to while we're off air. Leave a message. I would like to thank you personally for the donations. Thank you guys for joining us. Thank you for being here. Thank you for the donations tonight. I'll see you on the next one. Have a good night. Love you. See you. Bye. We'll be back tomorrow.
Tell you this about if this dude
Pray for Legend's finger.
this particular show, you don't have the
Austin said he stroked it, but it won't go down. I don't know.
this planet by name and tell them exactly who they are and tell them the rest of the world who they are. You don't have the fork and balls. You don't have the balls.
Okay, Scott.
Here we go. I think I started some shit. Listen off. It's about to get lit.
The song, Legend posted this song for all the people who are like, what is this song? Where can I find it? Legend posted it. So there you go.
Here we go. I think I started some shit.
Oh, happy day.
It's about to get lit. Get the place in the beds. You know that stage is set. You better buckle up, cause you ain't seen none yet. And they say that I'm a lunatic. Well, listen, bitch, I came equipped with a quick wit and a 6th sense for the stupid shit.
And then somebody in the Discord converted it to MP3. If you don't want the video, if you actually want to download the song, you can. It's in MP3 format.
Gossip, worshiping drums, cocking, begging for a throat deposit, swinging fucking me.
Thank you, guys.
Fool in a thong, he's strapped to the shaft, eating his chest like he's King Kong. Starving for attention, I'ma make your gut burst. I'll be your huckleberry, I can quench that thirst. Baby eating lizard people, alien sex. What's next? Trump in a dress, fucking Flynn on his desk. A retard in a vest climbing up 5G towers, cause you told him if he did, he'd get fucking superpowers. Here we go, I think I started some shit. Piss him off,
Tell him we're watching. Find out, if you can find out what pawn shop he put all his gear in, I'll just go buy it.
you ain't seen nothing yet. Here we go, I think I started some shit. Piss him off, it's about to get lit. Get the place in them bets, you know that stage is set. You better buckle up, cause you ain't seen nothing yet. I used to find clues too when I was high on shrooms. I found myself a tunnel that led to Jason Q's bedroom. Open his closet, I found some of his meat rockets. I strapped it to my shoes and then I flew through the roof. I found myself in orbit strapped to an F-16. High on amphetamine, with Trump in between. Put on a light.
I don't know if I like this watch or not, chat.
He tapped me on the shoulder and said, this is gonna be it.
I was really wondering about it tracking my steps and sleep.
What are you doing?
My phone does a pretty good job taking my steps, but I don't always carry my phone with me. But it doesn't look like heart rate works through a tattoo. I'm sure it's a light sensor, so that can't be. I don't know. We'll figure it out. Like sometimes it'll measure it, and then other times it'll tell me you must wear the watch to take your measurements. But I am wearing the watch.
You better buckle up, cause you ain't seen nothing yet. Round 3. Down goes Nino. Please say it isn't so.
Well, you guys know, like, my hummingbird tattoo is like. See, it's like.
Doing so well.
If it's the tattoo, it's definitely not gonna work.
They ringing his bell. You got frog.
A tattoo I got for my parents or whatever.
Search, they rework and copy on Cox that came first. 9th inning, second string, and they acting like they know hitters. Assholes throwing bullshit shit and runs to the shitter. All this nonsense on my conscience. It's hard to see.
And I could wear it on my right hand, but it'd probably be destroyed in about a day.
These parasites, these leeches, with all their secret meetings, teaching all you fucking.
That's my jerking hand.
Heathens.
I don't know how it'd stand up to the vibration.
Bullshit, Will Bird, motherfuckers out here busting the griffs. Here we go, I think I started.
Too tight or too loose, my eyes average.
It's about to get lit, get the place in the bets, you know that stage is set. You better buckle up, cause you ain't seen nothing yet. Here we go, I think I started some shit. Piss him off, it's about to get lit, get the place in the bets, you know that stage is set.
I saw a guy on TikTok, his read through his tattoo, but it was just off. But if I know it's off, that's fine too. Like if it's off by 3 beats per minute or something.
And I won't even give out your dime store handle because that's really pathetic.
Have a good night, guys. Love you. See you. Bye.